It's Tuesday. Show Me the Money Club live Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. How's it going, Sergio? How you doing?
It's going good, bro. After 82 episodes, we got our opening.
I
Open.
know we got a little video. So we got a lot to talk about. We got to talk about ChatGPT, Sam Altman, what's going on there. Uh,
Uh,
Microsoft. No, just playing, just playing. No, we do have a very good show for you today. A lot of good stuff. Let's talk about what we're going to be doing. We have Will Coleman. He's the CEO of Alto. He'll be on in just a minute. Then we're also going to be talking about, is Uber shaving fares on reserve trips? Pretty much, is the algorithm broken? We're going to be talking about why we're talking about that and what the answer is there. Then we're going to be talking about Lyft. Are they copying Uber with Lyft's latest driver app improvements? We're going to be talking after that. Uber is going to extend the wait time for comfort. Then we're going to start a new little fun series that we hope you guys are going to enjoy. I know Sergio and I are getting a kick out of this one, called Cash or Trash. We're going to go through a bunch of different rides, and we're going to see what you guys want to see, whether you'd accept or not. And we're going to talk about whether we accept them or not and why. So that segment's going to be called Cash or Trash. And basically, it's going to help train your brain to figure out in 10 seconds whether that ride's going to be worth it for you or not to take. And then we're also going to talk about the Seattle City Council and WDU under putting Lyft under investigation again, and some things there. We're going to be talking about driving Uber Lyft with a kid in your car, short that Harry did when he was in Dallas, where there was a kid in the car. So we're going to be kind of talking about that, reacting to it, and then getting your feedback as well. And then we got a lot of facts and funnies as well after that. So we got a jam-packed show for you today. But we'd like to thank today's sponsor, Upside. So Sergio, I don't know how much it is for gas for you, but I can't believe how much it costs.
yeah, I know, but I never pay full price. I always get my discount with the free, again, free being the keyword, Upside app, and the cash shows up in my account in 24 hours.
Nice. You actually get paid real cash when you buy gas with Upside?
Well, yeah, real cash. And in fact, we're going to show you guys some screenshots from my personal app. So for all the
Nice.
people who go, Upside is garbage, I'm like, no, here they are. They,
Nice.
you
Well,
know,
yep. Well, make sure you download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code RSG25 for an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill up. Again, that's code RSG25. A quick disclaimer, cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin, but you still can use the app. There are other cashback options, just not on the gas side. So when it comes to the savings that you're getting, and I should have put my screenshots on here too. But yeah, if you want to talk about
my
this,
account. This is my account. That's the last gas I bought. I think it's 24 cents a gallon back. 10 gallons or 11 gallons, whatever, it filled up my tank. And on the left side is the history. So far, I think 45 bucks or something like that, 46 bucks, whatever. And I use it every time. And then I use it also for restaurants, grocery stores. I mean, look, it's something is better than nothing. And, anywhere
nice,
between 15 to 25 cents every time I buy gas. So there you go.
nice. Well, my savings is a little bit higher from you. Mine's at about this. Actually, hold on. Let me check my app real quick. My total savings, but yeah, it's in the $700 range.
Whoa.
Yeah, 789.83.
Holy shit.
So yeah, you can actually make some money cash back with this. Just saying. So again, link's going to be in the description below. Check it out and use code RSG25 for 25 cents back on your first fill up. All right, so we have a guest today, the CEO of Alto. If you're not familiar with Alto, Alto is a ride-sharing platform with an employee-based model. So we have Will Coleman, CEO on. Will, thank you for coming on. How are you doing today?
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Hey,
We
Will, how are
appreciate it.
you? I mean, we've known each other for a while. I've written a couple of articles actually on RSG about Alto in the starting days of the company. And look, we are here after a few years, and many things have changed, but one thing stays constant, right? And rideshare companies are still around. There's plenty of people, millions of people are driving for them, but you figured out something that is quite different. But before we get into all the details, introduce yourself and tell us what Alto is and what the company is about.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining Show Me the Money Club today. My name's Will Coleman. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Alto. Started Alto over 5 years ago now, so it has been a while, Sergio, that we've gotten to know each other. Um, and Alto, as you mentioned, is different from the other apps out there because we try to offer. Alto means elevated, high or tall. We call it elevated, and we're elevating the experience for both passengers and drivers. We do that by exerting a level of control that others can't. And we exert that control because we have W-2 employees, no independent contractor drivers that operate on our platform. That means that drivers can expect a safe, consistent, high quality experience to be part of a team. And our passengers can expect the same safety, consistency, and hospitality as well, because they always know exactly what they're going to get. The same car that we provide to the driver, we pay all the expenses, the lease, the insurance, the fuel, the maintenance. Drivers just need to show up and drive, provide great customer experience and great customer service, but don't have to worry about all the other hassles of maintaining your own vehicle and running your own business.
Yeah, so there is a massive difference, obviously, in the business model, right? Rideshare companies basically having a zero asset or very low asset business model versus yours, which is a vertically integrated business model. You own everything. The driver, like you said, has to just show up in their schedule and just drive, right? But talk to me a little bit about the onboarding process when it comes to drivers. I'm pretty sure you have a system set up that you pick yourself the best drivers, probably, obviously, right? And let's talk a little bit about that, what the onboarding process is.
Yeah, onboarding starts with an application. You can go to our website at drivealto.com and apply to drive. We operate in 5 cities across the U.S., including Los Angeles, Dallas, Houston, Washington, D.C., and Miami. And there you can select your city. You can see the different pay rates that we offer. We offer both full-time and part-time employment. We're seeing a real uptick in part-time drivers, people that are looking to just drive a couple hours a week, a couple shifts a week to earn some extra cash on top of an existing job. That you guys were just talking about upside, prices are going up everywhere, and so I think that's a real opportunity that we're excited to create for drivers. Once you apply, we review your resume, and if you pass our resume screen, we invite you to an interview. After our interview process, if you pass that, then we bring you into our training. We do both virtual and in-person training. And once you pass our training and do what we call a check ride, where you drive along with one of our in-person trainers to confirm that you know how to operate the vehicle safely, know how to follow the Alto experience for drivers and passengers, then you're officially an Alto driver. That whole process takes just a couple of days, about 3 days in total, and you can be out on the platform, in your first shift and the same week.
Right. So I've seen a bunch of your cars, around LAX when I drive, obviously. For our audience, I mean, we always try to introduce new ways of making money to our audience, hence we're called Show Me the Money Club. There is a lot of disconnect, or there's a lot of discontent actually going on with the rideshare companies because of the pays, right? When we do our surveys, our number one complaint is pay. Okay, so this them being employees, your drivers versus independent contractors when it comes to Uber and Lyft is obviously a massive difference, right? So do you set the schedule for your drivers, or do they have some flexibility in picking up schedule for themselves? Like, because most of the people that do Uber and Lyft, they're doing it for the flexibility and the freedom.
Yeah, we see, we actually have multiple, we call them archetypes of drivers. You can select which kind of archetype you like to be. We have full-time drivers that really value consistency. They know that they want to work every morning at 3:30 a.m. and they want to know that that's their shift, and they want that week over week. And maybe they have another job that, having that consistency is important for them. We also have a lot of drivers that just want that flexibility. They want to come in and pick up shifts, decide exactly when they're going to work or if they're going to work in any given week. We do require our drivers to work a minimum of a couple shifts a month just to stay in tune with our experience and up to speed. But about 50% of our drivers now decide just to, we don't schedule them, they schedule themselves by going in. We post the schedules, and as you become more tenured, it operates a lot like a hotel or an airline. As you become more tenured, you get access to schedules earlier and earlier. You get, to select your schedule first. And so, we think that we want to appeal to both ends of that equation: folks that are looking for that consistency and want to know that they've got a set schedule, and those that maybe just want to add on to an existing, whether a college student, a stay-at-home mom, anything like that.
Yeah, and the thing is, I mean, I'm sure you know the numbers. The average lifespan of a rideshare driver is about 8 months or less, right? Because most drivers either burn out or they're in between jobs, using rideshare as a stopgap, right? And in this day and age, I mean, I'm sure you look at your own numbers. What percent of your applicants are actually ex-rideshare or kind of rideshare drivers who are kind of pivoting to something that is, more conducive to not only, being flexible, but making basically guaranteed money, even if, because they're your employees, even if they're not driving,
Yeah.
right? They're getting paid a certain amount of money.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually less and less of our employee base, our driver base, are prior rideshare drivers now. It's still maybe 40-45%, which come to us because they, have burned out on Uber, or they feel like, they're not being treated fairly, or they really can't handle the inconsistency. It's funny; those are the drivers typically that are looking for more consistency, not more flexibility. They're typically drivers that are working near or maybe even more than full-time hours on the platforms today. They're, they see it as a real career, and they love the customer service and being on the road and interacting with passengers. We also, though, see that, more than half now come from other industries that exhibit more uh, employee-based models. Everything from Amazon warehouse workers, waiters and waitresses, valets, customer service agents. We actually increasingly see grocery employees, other businesses that have kind of cyclical or seasonal, even day of week seasonality in their business model. Maybe, the grocery store is much more busy on a Saturday morning than it is on a Tuesday morning. And so their schedules complement ours, and make it real easy for us to pair and work well for somebody that's looking to, pair a couple jobs together.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed is that, when I see your cars, your drivers are wearing Alto gear. Obviously, you can't just show up with, flip flops and the t-shirt and shorts like most gig drivers use these days, or some anyway. So they're wearing Alto gear, Alto hat, Alto cap, right, baseball hat, and an Alto polo, right? So that's obviously, representative of the company brand, because you're providing a higher level of service than the lower platforms like UberX or, regular standard. So where would you say your service falls? I'm pretty sure it's not at the Uber Black level, but maybe, it used to be like we used to have Lyft Lux in LA or in the
Yep.
country, which they got rid of. So where does the service level fall as far as that's concerned?
We think from a passenger perspective, it's a better experience than Uber Black even. It's a more consistent experience. You always know exactly what you're going to get. It's not a black car, it's a white car. We actually think that's better too, because black cars are kind of a bit pretentious these days. If you're a professional looking to show up to your client site, maybe arriving in a black Escalade isn't exactly the right look. But you might be looking for that kind of consistent quality, knowing exactly what you're going to get: a clean, safe, high quality ride. So from that perspective, we really believe we can offer an excellent customer experience, and we do so at a price that's closer to a Lyft Lux, Uber Select. It's about 30 to 40% less than an Uber Black. And we're able to do that because we can drive higher utilization of our assets. Our drivers are active more often. We have slightly higher wait times because of that. Having a higher wait time allows us to turn over drivers into their next trip faster, and it means that we can have fewer drivers on the road to serve the same number of trips, and therefore get a lot of efficiency out of that. So we can operate at a higher profitability margin while serving customers at a lower price.
Right. So that was the easy part. Now we got to the tough part. So obviously, look, our community is 99.9% drivers, and I can not ask you. Obviously, look, every city is going to be different, probably, but to a little range level, we can ask you. We would ask. I will ask you. about the hourly rates. Obviously, they're hourly employees, and some of them, which may be full-time, get healthcare benefits, 401k, things like that. But let's look, I'm in LA, right? I was at LAX yesterday for 6 hours, and I think you said you're in LA at the moment.
Yep.
So what are the LA rates, let's say, for a new driver versus, let's say, with a tenure of a year or maybe 2 years if you have such employees? How do you figure what to pay these people?
Yeah, so our rates do vary by both city and by time of day, day of week. We have a base rate, and then we also have what we call prime pay that have increasing hourly rates for more prime hours, both in the early mornings and the afternoons, rush hours, certainly on the weekends. And we also have a program we call Pedal to the Metal, which is where we put out shifts that we put increasing rates on, and when we expect big events, if Taylor Swift's in town or things like that, because we know that drivers also have opportunities to earn more during those times on other platforms. The rates really range. In LA, I think our base rate's about $17. It can go up to over $30 an hour, depending on when you're working. Our average driver last month in LA earned just about $21 an hour.
Okay.
You have to put that into perspective that that's all cash, no expenses, no, that's there's nothing else to take out of that, and that's in addition to that's the cash portion. We also, as you mentioned, have company sponsored healthcare, 401k plan, workers compensation. We pay half of their taxes because Social Security taxes and independent contractors 12%. We pay half of that as an employer. So I think it's equivalent, to earnings of 30, $35 an hour on an independent contractor basis.
Yeah. Who gets the healthcare benefits, 401ks, and things like that? Is it by tenure or is it by obviously hours you put in, right?
Yeah, there's both. You become eligible for a 401k plan after 6 months, and then the company matches up to 4% of your contribution. The medical plans similarly have stair steps and at different tenures of 6 months and a year. They're federally regulated, so it's also based on the number of hours you work. If you're full time, you qualify for different plans than if you're part time. We're in different. We have to follow kind of the ACA, the Affordable Care Act, and so there's certain regulations that we have to fit within. But we try to create opportunity and plans that are valuable to everybody. Even if you're a part-time driver, we have plans that cover urgent care and preventative health, and can care for your kids if they need flu shots or other kind of preventative medicine. And then we have all the way up to major medical plans that would cover you in case of a real emergency or long-term prescriptions or other types of things.
Yeah. And now as far as them being employees, right? I mean, in this day and age, I call, let's say, because we do a lot of delivery content as well these days on top of Rideshare. And I call doing deliveries, last mile deliveries specifically, is working for tips, basically, right? So I know what your opinion is about tipping, and look, I'm lost when it comes to tipping because the tipping culture has changed so much that I'm there to pick up my Starbucks and I have to tip now. I'm like, I'm not sure how that's how that's being handled. Many articles I've been in about tipping, but I know this, and this was a fact. I don't know, maybe things have changed since I've last spoken to you. That Alto does not allow tipping. Is that correct?
That's right. We don't have tipping in our app, and we discourage tipping from our passengers. As employees, we again really believe that it's our responsibility, not our passengers' responsibility, to manage our employees to create that consistent, high quality experience. We believe that it's our responsibility to create competitive, compelling, and consistent compensation for our employees, and that tipping creates a lot of inconsistency, which is, in my opinion and our opinion, really against the core values of our business. We want drivers to know how much money they're going to make based on the hours that they work. We don't want them to worry about, am I getting an airport trip or not? And we don't allow drivers to select, as an employee, our systems, our algorithms choose what trips you take, which when you reposition or position your vehicle, when you don't, And so by adding in that kind of complexity, it really changes drivers' incentives. It makes maybe I want to go wait at the airport or not wait at the
Yeah.
airport, or and we really don't want that to be a factor in our employees' decision making. So we feel it's important that again, it's our responsibility to ensure that they're getting paid fairly, and we think we do that.
Yeah, and I mean, the tipping, as far as the rideshare drivers are concerned, have become quite a bit of their earnings actually, due to the fares that what they're offering. You mentioned something about the algorithm, right? Obviously, you don't do your matching like these companies do. They did 2.4 billion trips. Obviously, they have AI, machine learning. They do the matching, the way that they see it fit. So, how does your systems work? Is there actually a dispatcher with an earpiece at the driver's ear telling him where to go, what to do, or is there a computerized system? How does that work?
It's mostly computerized. We do have a dispatch team that works 24/7 in Dallas, our headquarters, covering all of our markets. We think of them as driver support, somebody that is on the other end of an earpiece. If you have a problem and you need help, there's someone available instantly to help you, whether that's identifying or checking on a passenger, if it's a vehicle issue, a tech issue. We think that that's a big part of being part of the team, and having a support network that can help you out on the road. We know it's really stressful out there. But the vast majority of communication with our driver happens directly through our apps. Our algorithms use machine learning and a forecast model based on where we expect demand to occur, and it's specifically where we expect that to occur in cities, to position our drivers throughout cities to be best um, positioned to accept that future demand. And then it also uses that to match those trips to the drivers. In many ways, we see ourselves as, we call it, it's a bit of an oxymoron, a human-driven autonomous fleet. Our system's really built to think about, as owning the cars and employing the drivers. We don't really need to gamify or create incentives for drivers to do different things. We're not showing drivers a heat map and asking them to decide where to drive. We're just giving them that information, and then they go and execute those tasks. And we think that that creates, again, a better experience for drivers, less mental overhead and stress, and less cognitive load, which is already really high out on the street. It's safer if you don't have to be thinking about these things. But also, it's better for us because we can orchestrate and ensure that everybody's acting in in kind of a cohesive way, and we think it's better, for cities. It reduces congestion, and it's better for passengers because it creates the best mix of wait times um, and asset utilization for the company, which allows us to keep our prices where they are.
Yeah, and if we can go back to tipping real quick. Okay, I know it's discouraged actually to a point to tip in the app. Obviously, there's no tipping option for the passenger. What if like they really like the driver and the service he provided and offer him a cash tip? What happens in that case?
Yeah, it's our policy that our drivers should ensure that they tell the customer that tipping isn't required. We do know that sometimes in extraordinary situations, people want to offer a gratuity, and obviously, we won't stop that. So I do expect that our drivers, in certain situations, do get a little extra, and we just don't want customers to feel that that's required in any way, or the expectation. Um,
Okay.
and yeah, I mean, it is ultimately a service, and even in a country club or a high end hotel, sometimes people decide to offer an added gratuity, and we think that's appropriate.
Yeah. So I put up this question from our audience with chats flying. I can't really follow and talk to you at the same time, but this kind of caught my eye. If you don't mind answering that question.
It's on the screen. Okay, I thought that was an
Yeah.
ad actually, so I'm
Oh,
reading it
no,
now.
no, no.
That is no, that's not true anymore. We should probably check where that FAQ is.
Okay.
We no longer require passengers or drivers to wear masks.
Okay, cool. So now you have your answer, whoever you were. So we have a couple of minutes remaining. Look, for me, as far as I'm concerned, right, it's an alternative to doing rideshare. And not a day goes by that I get hundreds of emails now these days with the growth of the show, obviously, that I'm not making enough money. I'm not making enough money. Well, you're in 5 cities, right? You mentioned these 5 cities. DC, Miami, Houston, and Dallas and LA.
Dallas and LA. Yep.
Right. Well, I, And is there any growth plans like to expand the services in different cities, or how's that going?
Yeah, we're really believe that the product is working. It's working for drivers. It's working for passengers. It's working for us. It is a business that requires pretty significant capital to expand. It's a
Yeah.
difficult capital environment out there, so we've been pretty
Yeah.
cautious. We aspire to be in every city, every major city across the U.S. We won't be in small cities. It's a business that requires density and scale within a city. So we'll let Uber have the Baton Rouges and Birminghams of the world, but our goal is to be in several more cities in the next year. We've got our eyes on Atlanta, Chicago, Boston, Seattle, Denver, ultimately someday New York. And we believe that it's a product that will be able to expand, be a really large opportunity for both drivers and passengers over the next several years.
Yeah, obviously, as you being a vertically integrated business model, I mean, it is difficult to finance all these things and be profitable, which I know that you are a profitable entity at the moment. You're raising another round of financing. A lot of these, by the way, Ubers and Lyft, as we know, right? Depending on the driver, they want to go to EVs now, right? By 2030, we want to have the whole fleet EVs. So I have 3 million drivers. How are you going to do that if the driver doesn't do it? Do you have any plans as far as doing that yourself, or are you going to continue with the ICE vehicles?
Yeah, we believe that EV is the future, and it's better for everyone as well. But it actually today it doesn't make financial sense.
Yeah.
It's a really challenging world where you guys probably do the math even more than I do, but I think even renting EVs from Hertz or others, it's a really complex equation for drivers. Clearly, passengers aren't willing to pay significantly more for them. And the TCO, the total cost of ownership, is typically higher because the vehicle is more expensive. The depreciation is higher because prices of those vehicles have been falling, which means that even when you buy it new, you have a risk that the new ones are going to be less priced than yours. So you take on higher depreciation. And if you're charging at home, fuel can be relatively inexpensive. But if you don't have home charging and you decide to use public charging, especially DC fast charging, cost per mile can actually be, even in California. I was driving an EV. I was testing one in LA today. I stopped by an Electrify America station, paid 60 cents per kilowatt. That's, I think, on a per mile basis, about equal to the price of $50 gas. And so, the Hertz actually just announced that they're really taking a beating on the EVs. Depreciation
Yeah,
is hurting
yeah.
them. The maintenance cost is higher. And so we are aiming to do it. We want to do it, but we're only going to do it when the TCO makes sense. And so
So,
we're working with
as far as
yeah.
as you know, in our world, we have like actually 2 minutes now, but I'll give you the floor on the last minute and a half. But obviously, your drivers are W-2s. They're your employees. They're wearing your gear. They're representing your company. The cars actually have, it's written Alto on it. I know there are a lot of Buick Enclaves. Even the logo on the car has changed to an A, which is cool, kind of. But we in this group, like in the thousands that are going to watch this later, we have a saying, right? We're independent contractors. We can decline all the trips we want until we're profitable for ourselves, right? So your drivers cannot decline a trip at all, right? You keep driving. You want to keep your utilization rate of your cars and your drivers as high as possible. One to the next, to the next, to the next. The system will connect. But a driver, other than maybe they have an emergency or something happening health-wise, they cannot decline trips, correct? They're just kind of in the car to drive.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, for the most part, like you said, we have off ramps for things like if you get a flat tire, you're in an accident, you need a bio break or a lunch break. So we create opportunities where we can break the stream for certain drivers at certain times to make sure that they remain well rested, well fed, and can serve our customers well. But we don't offer. I mean, drivers, it doesn't really matter to them, right? Because again, they're getting paid no matter what they do. So whether that trip is to move to another position or to go pick up a different customer, or we'd also do some deliveries. There's really zero trade-off for the driver, and so there's no way for them to accept or decline.
Okay, so here's your chance to speak to probably 10,000 drivers coming up within the next few days. to recruit some of our best. Maybe look, maybe they're sick and tired of doing what they're doing, and what better way to just still drive, but then you have some benefits. You're not putting wear and tear on your car. There you go. The floor is yours. You have a minute.
Yeah, well, thanks again for having me. Really great to be on the show. And yeah, to all your viewers out there, we think that Alto is a great alternative, a great opportunity. Again, at the end of the day, it's a lot about consistency and quality of that experience. It's not for everybody. I'll be open and honest about that. I mean, you probably, many of your viewers, many of the people watching this video are probably some of the most sharp and um, dialed in of the drivers on the platform. And if you're kind of perfect at it and you like that flexibility, that pure flexibility, you really want to do it your way. Your way is the best way. That's not the Alto way. And so you're going to be better off sticking as your own boss. But if you're looking for an environment that's really caring, inclusive, consistent, and you want to be a member of a team, you're kind of tired of working by yourself, being out there all day, every day, all alone. We think that we can offer a competitive, compelling alternative, and we'd love to have more and more drivers on our platform. We have over 1,800 across the country, and so we're hiring it literally every single day. So you can go to our website at drivealto.com and apply there, and we look forward to seeing you out on the road.
Thank you. Thank you for coming on. Much appreciated. We'll be in touch. Obviously, we'll do updates. And yeah, there you go, Mr. Will Coleman, the CEO of Alto. Thanks again.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Great.
Thanks, Will.
Sergio. See you guys soon.
Bye-bye. All right, so that is Alto. If you're interested, check out ridealto.com for more information. If you're in one of those cities, if you're not in one of those cities, well, you're going to have to wait to see if they expand into that area. But Sergio, we got quite a bit to talk about today when it comes down to it. So you want to talk about how Uber's algorithm is broken? Or do you have an idea? Because I'm the one who titled it today.
Yeah, it's broken. Broken as it gets, broken. Yeah, Uber. Okay, we're not gonna keep. I'm gonna stop saying Uber is watching because by now everybody should know Uber is watching. Look, we all we want to do is we want to alert the community to things that are happening. This may be happening to just 1 out of 100 drivers, but 1 out of 100 drivers, if you scale it to the 6.5 million drivers they have, Chris, there's a lot. Okay, so. And then one thing I figured yesterday, by the way. So I was at LAX for 6 hours. I literally 100 people walked up to me and they recognized me and they said, Sergio, you're here. I gave them my card. That's how you grow a community. Talk to them for 5-10 minutes each. And everybody's problem to them, right, is the world. To Uber, no, it's not the world because their scale is massive. Am I going to say they don't care? To a point, yeah, they don't care. Honestly, they don't care. You're just a pebble on the beach. But what we do or we care about is you bring it to us. We have their ear. And before it becomes a huge, neighborhood on fire, we try to stop these things because you're getting paid less. Now, we call it different names, shaving, this, that, and we prove it. I mean, these are screenshots of things that are happening. We are not putting these in Adobe Photoshop and creating problems for Uber, which we don't want to do. We actually want to solve problems. So with that said, we have something new that came to us from Chicago. And I'm like, why does these kind of thing always happen in favor of Uber, Chris? Why? Why is it always in favor of Uber?
I don't know, but just to go back on a couple of things, we started with the algorithmic wage discrimination that we were talking about. Basically, we had two brothers who were sitting next to each other. One had a Tesla, one didn't, and just to see what they were getting when it came to the ride offers, they were wildly different. Then you did a thing at Curbivore in March with a couple of drivers to see what was going on there when it came to the ride requests that were coming in. Sort of the same thing. I did the same thing in Chicago as well when I was there in May. And we found the EV shaving at that point where EV drivers were not getting paid the full $1, but right around 80 cents or so on average for the most. We've seen shaving or wage theft when it came to, pretty much all aspects when it came to this algorithm. Whenever it came to tipping, that was a big thing. We saw tipping decreasing the base fare after the ride was completed when the ride went through, if there was a tip added to that. We saw the base fare go down when it came to surge. So instead of being in addition to, it was crumbled in altogether, and accumulated like a snowball. So yeah, we've seen all of this type of different shaving all over, and that's kind of what we termed it and coined it. But when we're Sean, thanks, appreciate that super chat.
Thank you,
Stop by,
Sean.
say hello,
Merci,
appreciate that. But yeah, we have another one that you guys need to watch out for when it comes down to it. And this is something we talked about on the Lyft platform, but we didn't see it on the Uber platform until just now. So make sure when you are paying attention to your reservation rides, see what the ride offer is, and then see what you get paid for it. Do they match? Because if they don't, that's going to be another issue that we're talking about. So this is where we're talking about the algorithm is going in its own system, and I don't know what coding they put in, but I mean, some of these coders need to really look at what's going on with the code and fix
Yeah.
it. Not something where it's going to change the base fare after the fact, or you accept the rate at one rate and then all of a sudden it's going to change later. Same thing with reservation. I mean, let's just face it. The algorithm is completely broken. You know what I call for? I call for going back to time and distance until you can figure this stuff out. And then if you want to roll this back out, you can. But this has
I
got to
mean,
be fixed. I
yeah,
mean,
I,
because
I,
the problem is, what if this is going on all over the place? And then how many times is this happening? Again, you
okay,
said over 6.5 million drivers that are out on the road right now. What
yeah.
happens if this is going on in just a fraction of them?
Well,
0.1%. I mean, you're
well,
still talking about 65,000 drivers. And if it's a couple of dollars here or there, that adds up over time. We
yeah,
talked about the 5 and 10 cent shaving when it came to, dropping fares or something because of upfront fares and all of this
yeah. I
different
mean,
stuff.
but Chris, so I had many of these this week that I received. Okay,
Mhm.
Chicago, different cities, right? So some of them could be talked about because the trip may have gone 1/10 of a mile less, and Uber algo goes, oh, I'm going to shave it, a few dollars here, a few cents here, right? So I literally like went through a whole bunch, and I found one that Uber cannot say anything about this at all, like nothing. Okay, look at the time and distance on the reservation screen.
Oh yeah,
18.9 miles and 23 minutes. Okay,
which is
and
damn
look
spot
what
on
happened
for the
after the trip.
actual.
The
Yeah, look at
actual,
that.
literally, like I'm going like, okay. So the trip one that came in, the driver accepted this contract, Uber, at 38.18. Period. Okay. Now, if this trip had gone maybe half a mile short, we know what happens when it goes over. They don't adjust, but when it goes short, they pound it, right? I go like, I got to
Mhm.
find one that is identical to the final product. And there it is, 18.94 miles and 23 minutes and 30 seconds. I mean, could we get any closer to the
No, I think
pre and
that's
after?
spot on when it comes to the
Yeah,
estimation.
right? So what happened to the $1.80?
I don't know. Went into
Uber,
somebody's pocket.
hello? What's up? Right? Okay. So to us, this is another problem. I mean, we talk about shaving this, doing this, shaving that, this, that. This is happening on, this has been going on Lyft. When I talk to David Risher, I go, hey man, look, schedule, is showing up at one price, and when the trip is concluded or when the ping is coming in, it's less. It's pure bait and switch. We are, look,
Mhm.
on this channel, we are based on numbers, facts. We don't do innuendo, we don't do hearsay, we don't do this, we don't do that. This is fact. Math don't lie right here. If this trip had been half a mile shorter, I wouldn't put it up, saying that algorithm maybe decided that half a mile is $1.80 less for the driver. Well, then in this case, there is no coming back to this, Uber. This is blatant, I don't know, thievery, because I am, as an independent contractor, I am accepting a contract from you at 38.18. Even if the trip goes a little shorter, you still shouldn't be messing up with that. But let's say you have the choice or right to, or whatever it is, or your algo is written that way. But when it's identical, the end product or result is identical to what my initial contract is because I accepted this as 38.18. Why am I getting paid $1.80 less? And then on your scale, Uber, at your scale, 2.44 billion trips, okay? This is just one. How many are there? I don't know because I'm not privy to that information. You have the number, you have the data, Uber. And I just don't want to see this because this driver now is going to go to your support black hole and try to get his $1.80 back in about 45 minutes of garbage chatting. This is not necessary. If you show me upfront 38.18, pay me 38.18, none of this will be here. We wouldn't be even talking about this. So this is the problem we're trying to fix. And every single week, there is an additional problem. Is it your algo that's broken? Is it intentionally this way? Because there cannot be these many glitches in a high-tech company or IT company or whatever you guys call yourselves.
Well,
This
you know what? Here's
work.
I'm gonna push back on that a little bit. You know, if you're writing an algorithm and you're doing it at scale for 2.4 billion trips or 2.44 billion trips, and you're trying to get it to accommodate for 70 plus different things on why the fare is the way it is, besides like the time and distance, which factor they say the majority of it, but then there's all these other little factors that go into it. I mean, what if it was the algorithm that's at fault and all these coders are trying to do it one way and you know it's breaking it with inside. So that's why I say I think it's broken and I think that they need to scrap it right now, kind of like how they had to scrap all of Cruise, which we're going to talk about later. But like I mean, go back to time and distance, give us the upfront information, give us the estimate. So let's say you have the estimate for the pickup and the drop off. Give us that based on time and distance as an estimate. It doesn't have to be the actual, but at least we can see. Let us know where it is. Go back to time and distance. We're good there. Fix what you need to fix here because it'll solve all these problems because you're gonna know that you're getting that extra dollar because again, your time and distance rates are right there. You get that extra dollar for your EV. You're getting your added money for your surge. You're getting your added money for your streak bonuses and all of those things. You're getting the actual what you agreed upon when it comes to the reservation ride. It eliminates all of that crap. We don't have to worry about it then. And then that way you can take your 33,000 coders and, you know, have them do something a little bit different. I don't know why you need that many still, but.
Yeah, but there was a comment, so I think it was Kevin Bishop. He said, I put it up. He said, I always get paid $1 more. Great. Please, Sergio at therideshareguy.com, send me that. Because we're not going to just put up the negative, we're also going to put the positive. Because he's kind of assuming that because he shows up early, the system is geared up for you to show up early because they make you turn your app on 40 minutes or 30 minutes before the reservation time anyway. So I don't think that has anything to do with you showing up early or a minute before the reservation or 40 minutes and wait there for nothing, for no reason whatsoever. So, but send it to me, Sergio at therideshareguy.com. We'll put that up. You said every one of your trips, you get paid $1, $2 or more. Great. I haven't seen it, but if there is one that exists, Sergio at therideshareguy.com, send it to me. And so this is another problem. And again, you know, nitpicking this and that, this is not nitpicking because at their scale, $2 is a lot of money if you extrapolate that into 2.44 billion trips because we don't know how many it's happening on. I'm assuming it's happening on many. If it's happening to one, it's happening to many. And Chris is 100% right. With this upfront, anything is on the table. Anything is on the table, okay? Search shaving, bush shaving, quest shaving, EV shaving, whatever shaving you want to call it, because it's easily done. Because we don't know. The algorithm is so opaque, we don't know what goes in it. I don't know how many people at Uber know what goes in it, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? You go, boom, there's a price. I'm like, well, how did you base that on? I'm not even sure. You know, for, I don't know, centuries, transportation is based on distance and time. Nothing more, nothing less. What is this based on? I have no idea. But, you know, let us know. Send me your email, Sergio at therideshareguy.com. Good or bad. It doesn't have to be bad. Send me something good. We'll put up the good as well.
So I see a comment here. I'm going to highlight it in a second. I want your reaction to this. So it says, problem is that you guys are only talking about it and doing nothing about it. Last I
Sure.
checked, we can't do anything about it except for bring it to people's attention so then they can know what's going on. And
Well,
yes, there has been things that have been taken care of that has been going on in Uber when we have come forward and brought this evidence forward that they have changed things. So I don't know
for
what
the
you're talking
un-
about, but
I mean, look, for the uninformed, right? What goes in the background is none of their business, and they don't know, and they don't need to know. But Michael, if you don't think we don't do anything about it, and your only conclusion is that we got to go on strike and we got to do this and we got to do that, you're 100% mistaken. Number one. Number two, maybe you should check the history of what we've done. And in fact, last Monday when Uber announced, all these changes, yes, a lot of people said it doesn't pay me more. Yeah, it doesn't pay you more, but you got to be patient. And a lot of those things is because it was a lot of our community suggestions, right? From unjust deactivation to rider IDs checks, and I mean, look, these are good things that are happening. You can't just be stuck in the century ago and say, what are you doing about it? I mean, we got drivers, I don't know, hundreds of millions of dollars in California in April. I'd like to see one other channel that's doing as much as we're doing, analyzing, informing, making sure drivers figure out what their rights are. Because once we do voice it here, things are being done, things are being fixed. Like this problem, I expect it to be fixed probably within a couple of weeks at Uber. So, but everybody's opinion is welcome here, so we'll take it the way it is.
yep. All right. So you sent me a couple of these screenshots and
Yeah,
said
this,
put it in with this topic.
this has been going on. This is like I literally sent a package to Uber yesterday saying, don't do this, because this is what Lyft does, right? This is pretty simple. I love my drivers now. When they send me screenshots, they just make it super easy for me. Okay, so his schedule, this has been going on in Lyft. In fact, 2 months ago, when I interviewed, or a month and a half ago, interviewed David Risher, I said, David Risher, this is happening. This needs to end, right? You guys are shaving constantly on these scheduled trips. He goes, yeah, we'll fix it. I don't know if it's fixed because I got this yesterday. I don't think it's fixed. So the estimate on the upfront was 1436. This guy was in a $4.50 bonus zone, or surge in Lyft's case, bonus. And then he finished the trip, and 1436 plus 450 is 1886. That's my math. I'm pretty good at adding because since upfront came around, I've become terrific at PEMDAS now, Chris. My math has improved so much now, in about 10 seconds. And where is the 80 cents? What happened?
Actually, I think it's a little different because it looks like the ride request came in at 1788 with a $4.50 bonus. So
Put the
shouldn't he have gotten paid 1788 instead of 1436?
Well, no, no, the way I look at it is that, look, there was a scheduled trip. He was in a boost bonus zone. You just got to add those up. Let's just add the scheduled trip and the bonus zone number up. It's $18.86. And the trip, including the bonus, which I understand, came in at 1786 or 88. Well, it shouldn't have come. This should have paid or come in at 1886. Period. There is no ifs and buts. Math is simple. You add the two up, and then when the trip came in, again, if you look at the time and distance, Chris, right, 6.3 miles on the scheduled trip screen, and the time and distance identical. You see what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
So nothing changed. It wasn't short. It wasn't long. Why did this guy get the offer at 80 cents less than what it should have gotten it? So I told Uber, I go, this is what Lyft is doing. Don't do it. Don't do this.
But again, the ride request on the right is what came in before when he accepted it at 1788, but he only got paid 1436.
Yeah, which included the 450 surge, which he's entitled to because he's in the 450 bonus. So.
Oh, okay. No, okay, yeah. No, I'm sorry, I'm looking at it wrong. Okay, yeah, I got you.
Yeah. So this is exactly what I told her. I go, don't do this, and then I said, this is what Lyft is doing, so don't do this, right? Literally, that's what I said to Uber, and let's see what they do. See,
Yeah. So again, just make sure you're paying attention with all this stuff because it can happen, and if it happens to you, it's probably going to piss you off because a few dollars here, a few dollars there may not seem like a lot, but over time it can add up. And when it came to the EV shaving, how many people got how much money back? If you were one of those people that got any money back because of the EV shaving problems, and you got your reimbursement, I mean, how much did you make? That's all money that you should have had already to begin with. Yeah, it's nice that it made it back to your pocket, But what about all these ones that come in when it comes to, the reservation shaving, when it comes to the surge being jumbled in with the actual price, lowering the base fare? We've seen 50-cent base fare, 75-cent base fare. I mean, we've seen negative base fares on Uber Eats orders and things like that. So these types of things really need to be looked at and handled properly and a lot better when it comes down to it.
Yeah, I agree. So on the next one.
All right. So our next topic we're going to be talking about Lyft copying Uber. So last week we made the announcements that Uber was making changes based from their announcements, where Sergio was able to go in and view the announcement being made. But we didn't expect it to be this quick that Lyft would make all of these changes as well too. So I don't know about that, but what's going on there, Sergio? What do you think?
From my app, yeah, this is. I mean, I'm pretty sure Lyft is going to copy pretty much what Uber did on last Monday, which is great. I mean, all those changes to me were positive. And then, sure enough, this showed up in my Lyft app, and Uber had this. And the part of the announcement was that you can update the drivers around you for road blockages because their AI matching systems did not pick up on the traffic. And there you go. This was in my app. It says get real-time alerts. Well, that's what Uber announced last Monday. So Lyft is following in the footsteps, adding this to the system. Good. Now, the only way you're going to get the alerts, is if you use Lyft Maps. I always use Google Maps because I still don't like Lyft's in-house navigation. I use Uber's in-house navigation, but I don't use Lyft's yet because I don't think it's as sophisticated as it is. This is the first time I saw it in my app in LA. I'm in LA, so they may have been testing this in other places, obviously. But yeah, they're part of the change, copying Uber in a good way in this case. And hopefully they will follow with unjust deactivation protections, with blood test results paid by the company, with seniority taken in consideration when it comes to unjust deactivations, with ID checks for passengers, many, many things that hopefully Lyft will fall in line before David Risher comes back on again in about 4 months.
Yeah, I think it's good, but for me personally, I still use Waze because you're not getting just the drivers that are driving on the Lyft platform or the Uber app platform. You're getting all the drivers who are driving around and putting things on there. So you get a lot more data, in my opinion, when it comes down to it. And it's weird because I'll use Lyft and then I'll use Waze navigation with Lyft, but on
Yeah.
Uber I use Uber's navigation and have
Yeah.
Waze on in the background. And then that way, like if there's a cop ahead, a deer ahead, or anything, that's ahead when it comes to the route, it still alerts you in the background. So you can have Waze open and it'll still let you know what's going on, even though you might be like using the Uber platform for the maps.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, it's a good change, and hopefully more to come. I don't know what's coming or not from Lyft, but hopefully they'll do exactly what Uber did, and not only that, but improve on it as opposed to whatever they did. Competition in a good way is a good thing for the driver as opposed to bad, and we'll see what comes up.
Yep, absolutely. So I think we're gonna have to give away some money, Sergio. What do you think?
Yeah, let's go. I haven't
All right,
gotten
so if
zero
you want to,
from Lyft and Uber last 3 weeks.
ooh, I got a good one from Lyft. So I'm definitely doing that one this week because of tomorrow night. Speaking of holiday night, stay tuned for that. We'll talk about some tips there when it comes to driving on Wednesday night, which is one of the busiest car nights of the year. So if you enjoy going out and driving at night, if you enjoy driving the airport, this is going to probably be a great couple of days for you. The next one will be around the Christmas time as the holidays get closer. But we'll give you a couple of tips later near the thing. So just enter hashtag money in the live chat for your chance to win $25. And we'll get to that in just a minute. So our next topic.
Thank you.
What's up?
Well, thank you, Steve. Thank you.
Oh,
okay, so
thanks.
everybody, do me a favor. Say congrats to Steve, Rideshare Rodeo. He did his 300th podcast yesterday. 300.
Oh, nice.
That's dedication.
We're a little behind. We're a little behind at 82, but
we're 218 behind. But congrats to Steve. He's dedicated to the community and he does really good work. And so there you go.
Soul hashtag money. You got to put the hashtag first.
Yeah, hashtag money.
Just as it is right here. Type it in exactly like that, and you can be entered.
Yep. And we'll give it up. We're generous. Free money, by the way. So don't complain. Anybody saying, "Oh, this is not real money" or something. You'll go ahead. Like it's money. But
Well,
anyway.
it's more bonus than Uber and Lyft is showing you, right, Serge?
Yeah, I swear to God, bro. I was yesterday's stepchild. You know what happened? They showed me the money for like 3 weeks. I took their money, and then everybody said, "Oh, they bought you out because blah 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 whatever." And then I guess Lyft listen to you people. They're not showing me any money at all.
It's the broken algorithm. I'm telling you, the algorithms on both Uber and Lyft are broken and need to be fixed.
Broken.
Get rid of upfront fares. Do what I said. That's a perfect thing. All right, so let's move on. Let's talk about Uber extending the wait time on comfort trips, because I don't know about you, but 10 minutes is quite a bit.
Okay, so 2 weeks ago, I think it was 3 weeks ago, maybe, I lose track of time. We do so many things these days that Uber extended the wait time to 7 minutes from 5 for cancellations on Uber X. And we put the video out. That video was on fire. I don't think there was one single comment that thank you, Brandon. There was one single comment that liked that change. And now on comfort, you guys are going, I have comfort, I have X. I don't like 7 to 5, 5 to 7. Now on comfort, we're going from 7 to 10. Bro, as a passenger, if you're not ready to get your ass in the car when I get there, I ain't gonna wait 10 minutes. Nothing, not gonna happen. Zero chance. What do you guys think? You guys like this one? It's 10 minutes now, Chris? Bro, that's like, what is that? Okay, look, there's 10 minutes in an hour. Okay? You know what this is going to do to them, right? Because if a passenger makes me wait 10 minutes, their active hour earnings are going to go down now, because this is part of the active hour. You know what I mean?
Well, you know, hey, in New York State where I'm at, it's 26 per active hour. So I mean, it hasn't kicked in yet.
Exactly,
but
yeah, but that's just one. There's 50 other states. In California, I'm at like 22. But
look, first of all, when it came down, when Uber first started, it was saying order the ride when you're ready, because your driver will be less than 5 minutes away on average. Like, that was the goal from the get-go. Have somebody out ready to go. I mean,
you know what will that work?
It's the same thing with shared rides. You want to make sure that you have somebody there in 2 minutes, and basically it just comes down to order the ride when you're ready. Don't order the ride and then have 12 different things that you got to get done, because this extension is only going to piss drivers off more, and it's going to make riders not actually order the ride until they feel like ordering the ride, when they still have some more things to do. They just want to have the car out front waiting for them when they're finally done with whatever they have to do in order to get that ride.
Okay, this 10 minutes, right? I get it. You know, they're bent over backwards for the golden goose that lays the golden egg. Okay, I get that. But how about this? Instead of playing this kind of game with the driver, okay, again, on the rider side, how about you incentivize the rider to be ready? Okay, how about you say $1 off your trip if you're ready to go when the driver shows up?
Yeah, within that 2-minute window. So then the wait time doesn't even have to worry about it.
Exactly, because there is not a freaking chance on the planet I'm waiting double parked potentially in LA. I mean, parking is horrible. I'm going to be parked for 10 minutes because I'm making on comfort, let's say 8% more than Uber X. See these changes that you guys institute at Uber, 5 to 7, 7 to 10. Time is money. I'm not your employee like Alto. If I was like that, getting paid without doing anything, I don't care. I park it and wait.
Yeah, that's fine.
This is not going to work. This is all going to create more animosity between the driver and the passenger. Imagine, Chris, 9.5 minutes in, somebody walks out of their house. Do you think that driver is going to be like in a good mood that after 9.5 minutes you showed up?
No, I think for the I
Long
think
time.
the
You're
driver gonna
asking
be a little
any,
upset. Yeah.
you know, I'm like, no, I don't like this Uber at
Yep.
all. Right? Okay. Because if Comfort was paying like, okay, so you increase from 7 to 10. That's about 50% increase in wait time for free. Now, I know Comfort pays, I think Comfort pays 28 cents a minute or 42 cents a minute for wait time after 2 minutes. Okay, not bad, fine. But the inconvenience of waiting for 10 minutes and then what if after 8 minutes somebody cancels, you're gonna get a lousy $3.75 or whatever it is cancellation fee. These things are just not creating goodwill. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So yeah, man, I have no
Well, here's the
desire to wait.
question. Here's the question. At what do you, first, actually, I have two questions. It's two-part. Do you rate your passenger to lower if they make you wait longer for the pickup when you get them?
100%.
And
100%.
how long until the time is where you're like, okay, now they're getting at least 1 star lower, 2 stars lower, whatever it might be.
I can't figure all that out, but if you make me wait the full 7 minutes and show up in 6 minutes and 48 seconds, right? Right when my finger is ready to go
Like you can
cancel.
cancel, but you're not going to get paid the cancellation fee.
No, I'm saying after the 2 minutes, right? If I cancel after the 7, then I get the cancellation. But what I'm saying
Yeah.
is that because if I'm at like 6:48 and I'm ready to cancel, I'm waiting another 12 seconds to get my cancellation fee, right? And if you show up at 6:48, 6:50, right at the cusp of me canceling on you, you will get a 4 star automatically. Automatic 4 stars. 1 star off just for you to make me wait. And I don't give a rat's ass. You like it or you don't like it. And I'm gonna do the same thing on Comfort. First of all, since Chris, the time for waiting on X and Comfort now has gone up, I'm not even gonna mess with it. I'm gonna wait my 2 minutes. If the clock is up, boom, I'm gone. Especially if I'm working in a surge area. If I know there's
Mhm.
many other fish to fry in the ocean, I ain't waiting for you. Why am I waiting
Yep.
for you for?
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. You also gotta weigh the opportunity cost when it
Yeah,
comes down to it.
I'm
So
not waiting
you
for you,
gotta you
bro.
gotta
Just
look at how much
go.
you're gonna sit there and make for, how much ever long it may take for that passenger to actually come out versus you getting another ride and taking it. So, I mean, yeah, you could cancel it without getting paid, but I mean, again, it's gonna come down to the opportunity cost. So which one will outweigh the other? So
Well,
it's just a couple of things to think about, especially on the busy nights. When it's not so busy or something like that, let's say Monday night, not much is going on, or Tuesday night, maybe you're just chilling, listening to us or something.
yeah.
Well, maybe the 10-minute might not be such a bad idea if there's nothing going on, or it's 7-minute. It just depends. Still, the best thing to do though, when you're on the way to pick up a passenger, when you're a couple of minutes out, send them a text, say, "Hey, I'm going to be there in a certain amount of time." If they say anything, if it's busy and it's going to be crazy or something, things are
They'll
going
find
on like for a weekend night or tomorrow night, and they say, "Hey, I'm going to be a few minutes extra," or something like that, just at that moment just cancel, because don't even go to the pickup, just cancel at that point. um
Yeah, the code is I'll be right out. See you.
yeah,
You go with somebody else. What is this guy saying? I have no idea what
but
this guy. Sergio, we can't enter the contest call without triggering message to Tristan. I have no idea what
what,
this
you
is.
can't enter the it's just hashtag Sergio, or I mean hashtag money.
Yeah. Hashtag money. Just hashtag money, bro. Anyway, I don't know. There's a joke. Was there a joke, administrator? I don't
I don't know.
know. Anyway, so what did Brandon say? The $20 chat super chat. What did he say? He was complaining about something. He's part of the CDU. It says Uber Black in Chicago is dead. Comfort drivers are making more than Black drivers now. Fleet owners are pissed and refuse to swap out their trucks for Tesla Model Ys. I'm going back to Model Y in this. Okay, cool. All right. Actually, I'm gonna do.
Make sure it's a black Model Y, and then that way you can get on
Yeah,
black as well as comfort.
well, I'm gonna do an interview with that gentleman you guys had on with Gabe. You know, the EV money, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, because he painted his car
He
black.
yeah, he wrapped his car black and he got approved on the Lyft Black platform.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. So you got to
yeah,
analyze the cost, but it may be worth it. So
yeah. How long until you interview him? You're gonna give him a little bit of time between so you can
Probably
get those
like
numbers?
within the next week. Within the next week, and then you schedule
Okay.
it when you schedule it.
Yeah, find out those numbers definitely when you're
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
to him. I think we're gonna have him back on EV Money. Not maybe not in December, but maybe in January, February or something, just to see how the cost versus offset
Oh,
is
yeah.
when it comes to it. So all the people who are driving Lux, if your car is able to qualify for black, but your car isn't black, you could potentially always wrap it. We talked about
Yeah.
that on the show a couple of weeks ago here. And we had a driver actually who did it,
Okay.
who was on EV Money, who decided to wrap their car black, and now they're able to be on the black platform.
Okay, so let's assume it's 4,000 for a wrap, right, Chief Dude, right? If you do Uber Black,
Maybe. I mean, I don't think it's going to be that much.
okay, but let's say it is, right? That's you're gonna get that money out of Uber Black probably in the first 100 trips, right? And then your car is gonna be protected when you take the wrap off. It's gonna be a brand new, right? And Uber Black is gonna pay you, or Lux Black, they call it now. They call it Black. Sorry, not Uber Black. This is all about Lux, by the way. Lyft Lux. And you're going to recoup that investment in probably less than a couple of months, and then the rest is yours. I think it's a pretty decent exchange, because we had a problem with, well, we'll talk to this driver and then we'll put that up. I think this will be good investment for a lot of people who are doing Lux with their Teslas or whatever not, and they just fell by the wayside because Lyft changed the Lux situation. So stay tuned. We'll give you guys information on that.
Yep. All right, so let's do this giveaway now. Let's see who's gonna get some money. Give me 1 second.
Begrudgingly, I'm going to send you the money, people, so you guys know. Because I'm running low on funds, because I'm being treated like worse than a stepchild for the past month. But it is what it is. Okay. Let's see.
Let's see who's our winner.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Gio, congratulations, Gio. You are the winner. $25.
Oh, the
Gio.
guy that complains nonstop? Shit, bro.
No, he hasn't been complaining nonstop. He said a couple of good things earlier. I saw.
Anyway,
but
Gio,
congratulations, Gio.
it's a joke, Gio. It's a joke. Take it back and joke. Anyway, email me, Sergio@rideshareguy.com. Otherwise, within the next 24 hours, otherwise, no money. There you go. LOL. Yeah, you betcha. See, people complain, we give them money. People love us, we give them money. People hate us, we give them money. That's what we do. We just give
All right. So here's a little fun game that we're gonna play called Cash or Trash. So for everybody watching right now, make sure you get your keyboard available. We want to know what you would do. So we're gonna play the Uber game. Let's pretend you're online and a ride request is coming in. You get 10 seconds to look at it, and then I'm gonna pull it off. So I'm gonna put it on the screen for 10 seconds. I'm gonna pull it off. And then I want you to put in the chat, 1, if you're going to accept it, 2, if you would deny it, and then the reason why.
No, the reason why is going to be too long, buddy. Just 1 or 2.
Okay, 1 or 2. And then we'll give our thoughts on it.
We're trying this the first time. We're trying to include everybody here. This is called, it's a game. We're playing a game. These are all my pings from LA. Doesn't matter where it is from.
Do you want me to do the trip radar? Are we doing the trip radar one as a test so everybody can kind of get used to this real quick?
Okay, let's do the trip radar one as a test.
Okay, so there's 2. We're gonna do the top one first. Okay. Look at that one. It's gonna be 10 seconds. Let us know, 1, if you'd accept, 2, if you deny.
Or you should put. You already put 2, bro. You didn't even see the thing, bro. Okay, here you go. 10 seconds, you guys have.
All right, that was 10 seconds right there.
Okay,
I gotta. You know what I want to do? I'm gonna get a little thing that I can just play the Uber sound. I'm gonna play it on here. So when we put this up, if this is something that you guys enjoy and like,
we're gonna keep doing it.
And then we're gonna we'll keep it on. We can put that up, that audio. So.
Okay, this is good mental math. A lot of people ask me on emails, how do I decline? How do I figure out what to decline, where to look? So this is also good exercise. Okay, the first one turned into a cluster F because I don't know what's going on now. But
there's a lot of 1s and there's a few 1s and there's more 2s. I would say probably about 33% would take it, and then about 66
Okay.
would say
This
no.
was Trip Radar, so okay, this was good exercise. So we're gonna put up one now. That's a ping that I got last Monday when I was at Uber's
Well,
offices. It was surging, and these are
hold
all
on.
my requests. So
All right, hold on. We got to go back to it. So this is the ride. So again, $20.22 with a $2.75 surge included. It was 0.4 miles or 3 minutes away for a 5-minute trip at 20.6 miles. So the question is this good or is this not? Sergio, what would you do on this ride?
no,
And
no.
okay, why?
Okay, number one, it's taking me is not the trip itself. I mean, a trip itself, 38 minutes, $20. It will probably and there I'll catch something to make $30 in that hour. However, it is taking me to an area called Carson where there aren't as plentiful surge trips as it will be. So I'm playing the chess versus checkers. I am looking at all this data saying where I'm going is more important than the trip itself. It will be no on the first one.
Yep.
And the
So
second
that
one is an
one,
automatic no, because it's 20 minutes for $9. I'm not going to waste my time on that one. I'd rather do a shorter one, maybe like 15 minutes for $10, which are plentiful at morning rush hour in LA. So that's my criteria for these two anyway, but for the other two things
yep.
will change.
Well, so at face value, I mean, they're actually not bad rides. The first one is almost $1 a mile from where you are to the actual
Yes.
drop off, and
Yes.
then the next one, the one below that, is almost $2 a mile when it comes to
Yeah, but that's not my
from
criteria
pickup to
in
drop
LA.
off.
Yeah,
The
in
thing
LA,
is, though, well,
yeah,
again, I'm talking about at face value. I'm not talking
yeah,
about the area you're driving in.
yeah.
So
So,
this is the first part of looking at a thing. The
okay.
second part is looking at the area. So yes, what Sergio was talking about, an area that's going to take you to Carson where it's not going to be as busy. That's where you're knowing your market. So one of the things you want to look at is also the end destination, where you're going to end up. Is it somewhere where you want to be, or is it somewhere that you don't really want to be, or it's not busy, or it's going to be out of your way where you're going to have to deadhead or something like that. So that's going to go play into the decision as well too. Same thing with the second one. Maybe the time wise, when it comes down to it, LA is a different beast than many other areas in the country. So, your 4.3 mile trip from the point where you are to the actual drop off, for me, that might be 7 minutes. So for me, I would take it if it was in my area. But again, this is where I'm going with the face value, because not everybody is in LA or knows the areas.
Oh, no,
So
I
we're looking
fully,
a lot of
I
it at face
actually,
value too.
you are 100% correct. I have to start thinking like that. I always think because everybody's in LA. No, nobody's in LA. I'm going to think from all the next 10 screenshots, I'm going to think I'm not in LA. I'm just going to think basics, fundamentals, nothing more, nothing less, right? Because these
Let's get everybody on the fundamentals first, and then after their brain is snapping with it, that's when you can start looking at the second level.
I agree. Okay, so here comes the real test now. Okay, so what are we doing? Cash or trash they're going to put, or they're going to put one or two?
You know what? Either or. If you want to put cash to accept, put cash.
Okay,
If you want to put cash and trash, if you want to do 1 and 2, either works. So you let us know.
Okay.
So the next one we're going to put up, we're going to put up for 10 seconds, and then we're going to pull it off. Let us know what you guys think.
All right, here we go. Not two, cash or trash. Let's go. Done. That was your 10 seconds. That's it. That was an actual ping. Trash, cash. Oh,
I got to get the sound. I got to get the Uber sound. I have it somewhere on my computer.
Get them all panicked now that they're doing a trash. Okay. Okay, good. C for cash, T for trash. If you guys cannot type. Okay. Why would? Okay, we need to organize people. Trash or cash? Okay, this is like a 50-50 kind of a thing.
Yeah, it looks it.
Trash. Okay. Oh, more T's. T's for trash. Okay. We'll give you guys another 10 seconds. Trash. Holy crap. Trash is taking over now.
It's trash cash.
Trash. Okay. This is we have consensus. It's trash. Let's see. Oh, somebody said cash. Okay. All
All
right.
so
So for
this is
me,
the ride here.
this is definitely a decline. Specifically for a comfort trip. Just for the fact that I'm adding my time to pick up. I'm adding time to drop off. 38 minutes for 1789 will not get me anywhere. And in LA, again, forget LA. My eyes are not trained at the big number up top. Specifically, not up top. I don't care if it's comfort. I don't care if it's X, whatever it is. I'm not looking at anything up front, up top. Okay, the numbers don't involve me. The first thing I'm looking at as a driver, as a top 1% driver in any city, is time to pick up, time to drop off. 38 minutes. Then I look up 17. That's literally less than 50 cents a minute. I am not working for that. It's just not going to happen. I'm going to try to work for 60, 65 cents a minute. Okay? Period. No ifs, no buts. Although I do like it when it's dropping me off. I have already looked at that. My thing is definite trash for me. Blessings from New York City, brother and sister. Keep on fighting. My biggest problem is, yes, we talked about that last week for I don't know how long. Unfortunately, if you're in Jersey and suburbs, you're not seeing because then you're going to decline every trip that you're getting to go to the boroughs. And since you cannot pick up at the boroughs and with all the 5 boroughs and you have all the tolls and shit going on, that's why they are not showing it to you. And I'm sorry, but that's the problem that we have. So, with my apologies, that's Uber and Lyft for you right there.
Thank you for.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna have to fix that. Oh, there we go.
Oh. All right, next one.
I'm gonna have to trim it though. So,
Okay.
yeah, I'll have to trim it.
Okay, cool. We'll improve this, but I like this game. Mental exercise. You guys need to get sharp on this shit.
I'm giving everybody PTSD right now.
Yeah, PTSD is gonna wake up in like cold sweat now, just hearing this shit. Okay.
All right, so you ready for the second one? The next one?
Next one. Yeah, next one. All right.
All right, it's a trip
Okay,
radar.
cash or
So
trash, people,
which
let's
one are we
go.
doing? You sent me a trip radar. So we're doing the top one?
No, forget the trip radar. Just show the ping. Sergio, what my acceptance rates hovers right a touch under 10% these days. Sandra, thank you for asking. Sorry, it is what it is. I mean, if it was, $1.50 a mile, 64 cents a minute, like Seattle, I would take everything. Okay.
Yep. All right, next one.
Yep. Ooh. I like the Okay, that was 10 seconds. What is it? Cash or trash? Ooh, yeah, we'll definitely have consensus on this.
What's up?
Yeah, everybody. I haven't had one cash yet. They're all like tea or cash and trash, garbage. Whoa!
Oh,
Who
a few
said
people
one?
are saying one.
Who said one?
Steph and
Steph, you need to come on and explain yourself.
I see Roxy did, and
Right shift dude said C. Wow.
yeah, quite a few people said C on that one.
No, 2, 3, 3. No, it's about 60% trash. Okay. Yeah, Mr. Gambit, we know we're not up to your level, Mr. Gambit. I apologize. This trip definitely not accepting. It's not a comfort trip. Number one. Again, my eyes go in morning rush hour when I'm driving, when I know traffic is horrible. My eyes are definitely going to the time to pick up, time to drop off first. 26 minutes for $12.83. That doesn't even add up to the Uber 33 per active hour. So I'm like, no, sir, thank you. The next one. And this is a comfort trip, Chris. And has 475 surge included. No trash. Get lost. This is 225 a mile. For all the people here, please email me. Your matrix are all messed up. Do not look at dollars per mile. It's meaningless. It could be $4 a mile. And if it took you 45 minutes to go 3 miles, you just made $12.
Yeah, but again, your area is nothing like my
I
area
get
when it
it.
comes down to
I
time.
get it.
I mean,
I get it. But
even in rush hour traffic, which I would never drive in to begin with, it's a lot faster, especially if you know the side routes versus taking the main routes.
right.
And that, so yeah, a 4 mile trip is not going to be 20 minutes for the majority of people. A 4
Okay,
mile
but that's
ride
what I
is going to
presented with.
be maybe 7 or 8 minutes for the majority of people, maybe a
No,
little
but
more
Chris,
depending on traffic and things. But
okay,
for the majority of people, they don't live in LA and they don't have massive traffic
I
like that.
get it.
But
I get it.
again, it all
But I'm
depends
saying,
on where you are and what time it is.
okay, I get that. I get that. But all I'm saying is, I'm just looking at the matrix of the trip. Like, okay, this could be in Nashville, this could be in Buffalo, this could be in Florida, this could be in whatever. If you see that number, it doesn't matter what it is. If it's like 28 minutes for $12, it's a no. Done. I don't
Oh
care
yeah,
what
yeah, yeah.
city you're in.
Yep.
That I understand the I understand the details, obviously. But all I'm saying is train your eyes to your time. And you gotta get okay, if you make to make $30 an hour, people, you need to make sure you're getting paid 50 cents a minute. That's math don't lie. So all I'm saying is train your eyes to other than the big dollar numbers up there, dollars per mile, all that stuff. So to me, 50 cents a minute to make me $30 an hour. That's it.
All right. Well, this next one is that no. Hold on. This
There
next
is
one.
gonna be a couple that I'm gonna do. So
Well, this next one, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna love to see what the chat has to say about this one.
this one, the
This
big
is the
one.
one that's about the one that's coming on right now.
Oof, there you go. This is a tough one. Yeah, this is Uber X shares. So that's all I'm gonna say. Look up and then down. Okay, there you go. That was your 10 seconds. What's up? Cash or trash? What? Wow.
And a few caches, a few trashes,
Trash, trash,
a
trash.
lot of trashes now. A
Just because
couple.
it is what? It is Uber X share? No, no share. Somebody says no share. Okay.
I thought there would have been more people that'd say that.
Like 50-50, bro. Wow. You know, you
That's an
guys
either
can just
way.
accept it and go swipe up and no more new requests. That just became an Uber X trip, right? You guys know that, right? I hope you guys know that. You guys don't have to leave the app on and continue picking up other people, one and drop off and picking up and drop off, okay? Okay. Well, exactly. Defenestrator. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, Seattle. If you're in Seattle, of course, everything is trash. So let's
Yeah.
go quick.
I mean, if you're in Seattle, everything that you do, you probably accept for the most part because the majority of those trips, unless it's going somewhere you don't want to go, you're
Yeah.
probably going to take because it's going to be worth it at that point.
Yeah. So on this trip, for me, this trip is a perfect leisurely end my day trip. So if I was at the end of my shift of 2.5, 3 hours morning rush hour, I will definitely take this trip. Although it's taking me east, then I can use my DFs, come back to LA. But for this, with that caveat, this is a take for me. 38 minutes for 30.5 bucks. Take if it's at the end of my shift with that disclaimer. Otherwise, I'm not going to call it a total trash. 38 minutes for 30 bucks. It's a pretty good deal, man. You're not going to say no to that. And I will definitely swipe up, stop new requests, give this person a good ride on their own as opposed to getting matched. Yeah, this is definitely a take for me for the end of shift trip. That's it.
All right. Let's get our next one going.
Okay. Let's see how many people say what to this. This is a good one. It's a tough one. Okay, that was 10 seconds.
Yep.
Gosh, right
Chase, Chase White, where are you? Where are you located? Because most areas in the US have upfront earnings, so you can see what you're going to make. You're going to see the upfront estimate. You're going to see the pickup and drop off,
Ozzy
and
said
you're going to have
trash
that
with a
pertinent info.
capital T.
What's up?
Ozzy's an LA driver. He goes capital TRAS. Cash. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of T's on here. Okay. Yeah, the consensus is trash on this. Let's see.
I'll take it in my city.
A lot of people will take these trips in their city, but this is definitely trash. No go. 32 minutes, $14. Comfort trip, including 475. This is, by the way, we also called Algorithm Is Broken. Okay, you take the 475 out of this, Chris. We're down to, I don't know, 965, 970. I mean, again, people will look at this and say, yeah, $2 per mile, almost $3 per mile. I'm like, yeah, but what good is that? But again, in any city, if I got this trip, it's a trash decline. Now, one thing, if you guys pay any attention to what the time codes are like up top on left, when I'm taking the screenshots in the Uber parking lot in LA last Monday, the demand in LA is obviously great. Okay. Now I can comfortably say, yeah, decline, because I know the next one's there's going to be 1 out of 10 or 2 out of 10 that are going to be good ones. And I do understand everybody here that's in a smaller market or rural market. Yeah, you guys will take these because you're trying to create cash flow. But to me, it depends a lot on what the demand is. And, the timeline was literally 3 minutes. I probably got like 25 pings in 3 minutes. So if you're not in a market like that, yeah, these may not be complete trash to you because you got to make some money. But in my market, that's why I'm down to 10% acceptance rate, because they're trash. Again, with that in mind, we'll do the next one. Let's see what the next one looks like. Now, this, yeah. Let's see. Okay. All right. C or T or cash or trash. 1 or 2. Let's
That
go.
10 seconds goes pretty quick, huh?
That 10 seconds goes very quick. Yeah. Man, we got good drivers, bro. Look at these. What? Mike Smith goes T. Mike Smith.
Trash.
Mike Smith. I don't know about you, Mike Smith. Okay, Michael Seattle, you're not allowed to play. because everything in the whole country, everything is trash to you. Trash.
I texted Zach. I'm like, Zach, are you doing rideshare yet? He's like, no. I'm like, dude, you need to get a better car so you could go out and take advantage of these Washington
Wow,
rates.
we're
They're
going to disagree
insane.
on this one. We're going to a lot of disagree on this one. I mean, I don't know. It's like maybe 50-50, maybe a little more trash side. Okay. All right. This is my take. Take meaning I take this trip all day long. All day long. Like you can give me one after the other one of these. I take these all day long. Right? And why is that? Not because it's $3 a mile. I'm not even paying any attention to any of that. Okay, first of all, let's elaborate a little bit on this. 20 minutes for $11. That puts me at $33 active hour, which is what Uber is saying. That's 1. 2, you got to understand the pickup and drop off. Look where I'm at. Look where my cursor is at. Look where I'm picking up. Look where I'm dropping off. Okay, this is a total of 3.5 mile trip. Okay. The reason I'm taking this all day is literally because where I'm at is surging. Where I'm dropping off is guaranteed to surge in the next 20 minutes as well. So my next trip is going to be most likely one of these or a better one. I'm taking this trip all day long. All day long. Like, it's not even a question about me taking this. So whoever said trash, send me your emails and explain yourself. Sergio at therideshareguy.com.
All right. Well, let's go to the next one.
There you go. Okay. Man, 10 seconds is fast. Holy shit. I'm so trained. I'm like a dog. I'm so trained. I'm seeing that tennis ball so quickly. I'm just going right after it. Yeah,
Yep.
This is an easy one. This should be an easy one for you guys. Because if all the people who said T to the last one, this is a no-brainer. I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, this is consensus here. So it's like, let's put it back up. Yeah, this is definitely a decline. T for sure. Okay, that's the next one.
Oh, this is the one we
Yeah,
just
that
did.
was trash. That last one, $8 was trash. How about this one? How about this one, people? Huh? This is pretty good. This is pretty good. Are you all like so trained to say trash? Are you guys really meaning this stuff? Okay, let's see it. Yes, no? Cash. Okay. Let's go. Cash or trash? Yes. Right shift, dude. Bye bye. Never again. Whatever that means. Okay. Mhm. Okay. You train us to say trash it. No, bro, I don't train to say trash it. I train you to be more selective. Okay. 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 So let's see. TTTs. Yeah, it's about 50-50, maybe a little bit more trashy side. Again, just like the previous trip that I showed, the Uber X share trip that was for $30. This is definitely a decent end of day, finish my shift trip for me. And otherwise, no, I will not take this trip. But again, knowing my city and my end of shift trip for an end of shift trip, I'll take this all day long with that caveat. Otherwise, it's definitely not in my category. Now, with all this said, all I'm trying to do in morning rush hour, although LA traffic is horrible and Chicago is probably horrible and Atlanta is probably horrible and New York City is probably horrible, all the big cities. All I'm trying to do is stay within. This is my plan for morning rush hour. I want to stay within a literally 4, maybe maximum 5 square mile area, and I want to eat all these short little trips, $8-10 every 15 minutes, $8-10 every 15 minutes, and that's what I want to do. But as an ender, day end trip, going my direction for sure has something to do with it. I may take a less of it in an inferior trip that's going my direction, and I will take those to finish my day, and it's going to get me closer to home automatically. So that's it.
Well, it looks like Chase was the one who had the inability to see the pickup and drop off and that. So it says it looks like he's in Arkansas. Well, I guess Arkansas doesn't have upfront earnings. I'm not sure though.
Is he in a small rural town? Because some small rural towns they still don't have upfront earnings, Chris, because they
Yeah.
don't want you to not pick up, obviously, right? So yeah.
Yeah,
But,
unfortunately, yeah, there's a few places that still don't do upfront earnings. It's based on your rate card, which is your time and distance.
yeah.
So there are different areas. For the majority of people, we do have upfront earnings. So yeah, if you it says home of Walmart, 500K people. So I mean, not really that small of an area.
Yeah. No, I don't know. But yeah, so that should be the strategy for you
Corpus
guys.
Christi doesn't.
Weekends, bar hours, that's your strategy. You got to stay in the hot zone.
Actually, that's what we should figure out. We should find out. We should poll everybody and say who's got time and distance, what market you do still, and don't have upfront fares. Because
Well,
I
actually,
thought there were a lot less people. Yeah,
well,
Jersey doesn't.
yeah,
I know New Jersey does not have
yeah,
upfront fares because they
yeah,
don't want you to know if you're going to the city, especially if you're in that area right near the city.
yeah. Yeah, let's do that. You know what? Let's do that. Let's, you guys
Yep.
email me if you do not have upfront fares, if you're not seeing destination. I know most of the nation is seeing it, so no need for you to email me saying, yeah, I have upfront fares. Send me your city and send me what you don't have upfront fares, obviously. Send me your city. Then we'll
Yeah,
ship it
and
out to
you know what?
to
And
Uber.
the
Let's
other
do
thing
it.
too, the other thing, I'll post something. I'll post a community post
Okay.
on RSG either later, maybe tomorrow or something. So for
All right.
everybody watching, if you don't have it, just mark it where you are, so we can actually kind of like put a little list. Thank you for everybody in the chat who's doing it.
Yeah.
But the problem is we can't. We want to actually see like the areas and try to take notes on it. So
Yeah, just email
good
me.
to
So
know. Yeah,
because I'll ship
Fayetteville.
it to Uber. Yeah, I'll ship it to Uber. Let's see what they say. Maybe they have an estimate for you guys when they're gonna release it or
Yeah,
not release it. So no
yeah, we
harm.
can figure that out.
Yeah. All
All
right.
right. So you got something?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, as we always like to mention, with the holidays coming up, the importance of getting a dash camera when it comes down to it. Joe will be having a video on Friday coming out talking about a couple of different dash cameras. We do recommend them. Black Friday, Cyber Monday, those types of deals are coming out. So Amazon's got quite a few deals. I know he's going to be talking about the Blue Sky C, the Van True N4. He also talked about the Display Ride dash camera. So if you don't have a dash camera yet, highly suggest getting one. Plenty of great deals coming up in the next few days throughout the next week when it comes down to it. So please get a dash camera for your safety, for your peace of mind. And also when it comes to Uber, they will take dash cam footage now if in the event that they deactivate you to help clarify your story and share what happened. And dash cameras don't lie. Not only that, another thing we do recommend the Display Ride dash camera. We've always said that because it is a cloud-based dash camera. So you're going to get it for, instead of $25 a month, you'll get it for 20% off at $20 a month using code RSG20. So if you want to check that out, you can go to Display Ride and type in code RSG20. Not only that, if you're doing food delivery as well, they just came out with a body camera. You could type in code RSG for 33% off, bringing the $30 a month down to $20 a month. So you would be able to get either one for $20 a month, and highly suggested just because it is a cloud-based dash camera, has a lot of good bells and whistles within it. But again, if you're not able to, or that you think is too much for you, there's gonna be plenty of great deals coming up. Watch Joe's video coming out on Friday and click the links that'll be in the description there, and you can see exactly what kind of cameras in the event that you're looking for one.
Yep, I agree. And I have one. I had
Honey,
one
this
for
isn't a
over a year.
replay.
I
No,
had one.
Thanksgiving is coming on Tuesday or Tuesday. I mean, we've already put plenty of people on the chat already, so I'm
Yeah.
not sure where a
Yeah,
replay.
I have this dash cam. I had it for over a year. I like it. And with the updated driver safety tools, yes, if you don't want to use your own cell phone for you to record, encrypted on Uber and Lyft, on Uber anyway, dash cam is always going to be better than your cell phone. There's no ifs and buts about it.
Oh yeah,
But now they're going to accept this footage. As before, they would be like, no, we're not going to even look at it. But now they will accept it if you get deactivated. So it's a no-brainer for me. I don't know, whatever.
exactly. So look for those deals, and again, wait for Joe's video on Friday, and then let's talk about what's going on in Seattle. We had where's Michael Seattle? There he is.
Right here, Michael
Yep.
Seattle, Excel.
Seattle, hey, this is something that you may want to know about. Maybe not, but it depends on what type of car you're driving. But Lyft is going to be under investigation in Washington yet again.
Okay,
So
this is the importance of having a drivers union. This is not your typical Teamsters, UAW, whatever union. This is a drivers union. There's one in LA. These guys keep the company straight. I've gotten a lot of emails about Lyft Express drivers. This is on the Lyft platform only, that they're getting paid 25 to 30% less. Yes, they are. I know they are. So the drivers union took this up the ladder to the city of Seattle council, and now the city of Seattle has started an investigation saying this may be actually illegal, what you've been doing all these years, paying less to Lyft Express drivers or Lyft rental drivers, which is true. That's what they do. They pay 25 to 30% less. And to me, this is another thing that these unions do. That's why they got the rights they got. So get involved in your cities. If they're doing this in Seattle, the reason they're doing it is because there's a drivers union. Okay, and they have a friendly city council that listens to them. And this is like we show these all the time, that they busted Lyft last time for 10 cents. Drivers got $150,000. Look, all I'm saying is that these things are important. Look for these things in your cities. There are these unions, drivers unions, that you can go join and get your voices out and heard. Period. That's it. And there goes another one, Chris. They're doing the right thing and they're going after it. And I applaud. I mean, what else is there to say? But it's only happening because drivers are first paying attention, bringing it up to the city council's attention, and then action is being taken. and that's it, you know.
Yep. And just to let you know what it's like in Washington and what the rates are looking like and what some people
Oh,
are making.
yeah, that
Here you
one.
go.
Okay. Yeah. So you know how I've been saying, Chris, for the past couple 3 weeks, I've been telling people send me your earnings screenshots, and luckily 60, 70 people so far have sent them to me. Again, please send them to me because the company where I'm collecting data, companies are saying that drivers nationwide are making $33 per active hour, which is once you accept the request, clock starts. And when you drop the passenger off, clock stops. That's period 2, period 3. That's active time. That's utilized time. That's book time. All these lingo things that Lyft uses book time. Okay. This is from a Washington State driver. He's not in Seattle. He's in Washington State. And the screenshot that you showed before, the rate card, they have a rate card, right? And look at his rates, okay? $1.28 a mile, 38 cents per minute. In Seattle is $1.50 a mile, proper city Seattle, and 64 cents a minute. Minimum rates are obviously what they are. So he sent me his screenshots, last 4 weeks. Okay. So he did 42 trips, 20 hours active, $1,152.65, and 36, online hours. Okay. On active hour, which a lot of drivers pay attention to, okay, and some people pay attention to. We need to do a show, by the way, Chris, about which one do you prefer, active hour or online hour, right? Either way, this guy is hitting it out of the park. The reason he's hitting it out of the park is, and he accepts pretty much everything, okay? And in 20 hours active, 1152. That's like $55, $60 per active hour. On the next one, 20 hours, 972, 45 rides. If you guys are looking at the rides, they're pretty consistent, 42, 45, 51, 31. His average per ride is super high, right in the 20-25 range. Okay, nobody's going to get that unless you have these high rates that we just showed. And on the middle one, he's averaging 48 per active hour. On the next one, again, 50 some plus per active hour. And on the right one, again, $60 per active hour. Even if you look at his online hour on the right shot, is $30. The other one is almost 35, again, 33. So people are making money. And then out of all the people, by the way, 70 so far. I have on my spreadsheet. There's 2 people that are making less, okay, than 33 per active hour. 2. Okay, and we're going to try to explain and coach them. And one is in Florida market. Florida is horrible market. And one was in North Carolina. I'm keeping track of these things. See, so what you send me is not going to bullshit. I'm putting it all on my spreadsheet. What cities per active hour? Don't come to me and say, "Blue, look at this. I was online for 80 hours." I don't know. I'm repeating what the companies are saying, and I'm collecting data. So Sergio at therideshareguy.com, send me these kind of screenshots. There you go.
Yep. All right. So let's move on. Let's talk about this is an article that was sent earlier today. And actually, it's kind of in response to with an email that you sent me earlier. And basically, it was a woman who was driving and, with the oversaturation that's going on, having to work more, trying to just make ends meet, as many people are. It's very oversaturated all over the place. So we had a really good boom when it came to just after the pandemic, as everything was opening up. There was a driver shortage. Bonuses were up the ass. People were making a ton of money. Today, it's the exact opposite. There's too many drivers on the road and not enough rides to fulfill all of that. So this article I came across, which was pretty interesting. I don't know if you've seen this, Sergio, yet, but it's basically talking about a Florida driver who was fed up with Uber and Lyft, created a shuttle service so she could make
Yeah,
more money and work fewer hours, basically um, taking people to and from the airport or from hotel to the cruise line.
yeah,
Because obviously in Florida, there's a couple of cruise lines locations that
yeah,
you can go out of. So,
yeah,
the reason why I wanted to highlight this is because as this is happening, as there's more people that are online, as there are more people who are signing up, as Uber just added 1.5 million new drivers worldwide in the last quarter, and it's probably only going to get more over the next quarter. We're seeing other people come out with different ideas to go out there and make extra money. So she still wanted to drive. So she decided, hey, I'm going to try creating my own little shuttle service so I can go to and from. I charge people $50 when Uber's charging $90. And, I'm making the $50. They're spending the $50. They're happy. They're tipping. And, she's making a lot more money doing that. And so just to put this into perspective, a couple of things on the right screenshot says she's got to work more for less. So she's needing to work 12 to 14 hours each day, sometimes 18 hours one day to make a similar amount to what she used to around half the time just a few years ago. So she said, I do this for the freedom to set my own schedule, but it's coming at a price. I don't even have the freedom anymore because now I have to drive so much. I basically don't have a life. And then when it came to how much she made, she had a gross payment of over $98,000 from Uber for nearly 4,000 completed trips, but her net payout, so what she took, not what Uber charged, but what she took was $55,000. And this year, for the first 10 months, was 28,500 for nearly 2,000 trips. So you can see greatly how much oversaturation is going on, how much it's hurting people. But hopefully this is something that maybe you could be inspired to think outside the box, whether it's driving, whether it's other apps, whether it's something that you heard of that may make some money, you're not sure, but you give it a try. Or you just thought, hey, this would be a really good, this is a need that somebody has, and go from there. So yeah, it's just different ideas to do things. So when it talks about her doing this, where she's charging $50 each way, she's making between $1,500 and $1,700 a week doing shuttle service alongside Uber and Lyft. So that's helping her supplement more money because she's taking matters into her own hands and getting out there to make money when it comes down to it. So I thought this story was pretty interesting, and I wanted to share that with everybody because, yeah, something like this could potentially lead to some sort of inspiration for you, maybe to look at something in order to try to make some more money while this massive oversaturation of drivers is going on.
Yeah, I agree with everything Chris said. I think these gig apps are, a step towards your plan B, and please have it. May I just answer this real quick? Okay, so I don't want your dash cam ad. Okay, I don't want your upside ad. Okay, I want the rideshare guys to push for better pay. Okay, you know what? I want to make you, sir, madam, whoever you are, a case study. Okay, and the only thing I want you to do, okay, first of all, you cannot want me to do anything if I don't want to do it, but let's just take the semantics out. I want you, sir, madam, make you a case study. Start by sending me your screenshots, okay? Maybe instead of complaining, you should look within yourself and what you're doing. How many hours you're driving? I have no particulars here from you whatsoever, okay? Send me the particulars. Maybe you're working the wrong shift. Maybe you're working the wrong hours. Nobody in this world, Fix the App, is going to give you anything for free. What you put in it is what you're going to get out of it. That's the kind of community we have to deal with, because it is not in our control what we make, but it is in your control to study your city better. It is in your control to work as hard as you can. Maybe you don't want to work that hard. Maybe you don't want to work drunk hours, but you will make more money. Maybe you're not split shifting. Maybe you're not paying attention to anything. You're just saying, give me more money. Okay? But I want to make you a case study because I think this is an important issue for a lot of people who constantly say, I want to make more money. That's all they say. But they don't say, I have these bad habits. I accept every trip. I don't cherry pick. I don't know where to work. I don't know my city. I don't know the flow of my city when it comes to demand and supply patterns. This is all I hear. It's in your hands. I'm offering it to you. So Sergio at therideshareguy.com, start sending me your last 4 weekly earnings statements, just like we showed with the Seattle driver, and we'll see what we can do. But this is the problem. I want. Okay, well, so do I. I want a lot of things. But giving it to you is not going to be that we control what you're getting paid. Now, we're going to put pressure. There's more changes coming in January from Uber. But then, this is like how frustrating this is for me, Chris. On Monday, Uber could have announced Seattle rates nationwide. $1.38 and 38, whatever they were we just showed, right?
Mhm.
Within 30 seconds, there'd be people saying, oh, it's not enough. I want more, right?
Oh yeah, you know
So
for
I'm going
sure.
like, you can't make everybody happy, but I want to make you a study case right there. Case study, okay? Send me your, and I will help you, irregardless of what city you're in. I will personally help you to teach you because you obviously don't know or your expectations are too high. So, but Sergio at the rideshareguy.com, please
Actually,
send it.
a future plug, in a couple of weeks, there's a great behind the wheel that's coming out with a driver, Todd, who has taken, or Sergio and Todd have had a little back and forth on
He's
Twitter.
not here.
And I don't know, but either way, that was a great one. It's coming out in a couple of weeks. There's no behind the wheel on Thursday because of Thanksgiving. And then we have Harry's coming out the following week. So if you want to know more about Harry, that was a really good one that Sergio did. So make sure you check that one. And then Todd's going to be the next one. But basically, that's one of the things that they talked about was the pay and the expectations, and then people, having too high of thoughts and all that. So Todd made some really good points there. And I think a lot of people need to watch that and kind of really evaluate some things there too. And then Odie right here, or Odme, I'm sorry. When it comes down to take private customers, you have to check with your area. You got to check your state and local laws to make sure what you have to follow in order to be able to do something like that. So if you want to take private clients or anything, you got to make sure you have the right insurances, but you also need to make sure you need to have anything extra that may be required by a city or state within your area.
Okay, Mike Anthony, with all the respect to you, sir, every single W-2 job is making less than what they were making 5 years ago due to adjustment to inflation, period. Now, again, send me your numbers. Let's see if you're making 33 per active hour or not. I'm just saying, just send it to me. More than welcome to send it to me. Sergio at the rideshareguy.com. I'm collecting that. So there we go.
Yep. All right. Well, let's move on and talk about what happened to Harry in Dallas. Uh, what I think last week or something. Basically, he ordered a Lyft ride, and the driver came and had a little passenger sitting in the front seat, their child. Now, Harry didn't make any mention of anything with it. He doesn't want to get that person in trouble or anything. But the question I want to know is, what would you do? First off, if you're a driver and you have kids, what would you be doing if in the event that you had that? Secondly, if you were a passenger and you saw a kid in the car, what would your thoughts be? So I'll start with this. I think, if it comes to food delivery, if it comes to package delivery, you got that second person in the car and it's okay, then fine, so be it. If you have to bring your child along for some reason because you need to make ends meet and whatnot, turn on one of those apps and don't turn on rideshare because you don't know if four people are going to get in your car and they need that seat. The ride could take up to four people. So that's something to keep in mind. Secondly, the insurance doesn't cover you. So if anything happens, they're going to find a way not to pay for it. There's a lot of issues there. And then, if you got a small child or something that's sitting in the front seat, that also can be illegal on things. So, I mean, I don't know this driver's background or backstory or anything like that. I'm assuming it's because something happened with a kid, can't watch or whatnot, has to go out and make extra money. And, it's hard to come by with everything going on, whether it's inflation, oversaturation, the like. But yeah, that's something where you got to be smarter out there. If I was a passenger that came on, I would be like, okay, I don't know what this is all about, but I mean, if it was just me, sure. If it was other people with me, then that might turn into a little bit of a problem. But I want to know, what do you think?
I wouldn't, I mean, look, you can turn the app off anytime you want. And obviously, if it was, I don't know the super particulars, obviously, plus Harry didn't know it either, right? So,
Mhm.
I mean, if it's a super emergency, I wouldn't do it. Okay, number one, I wouldn't have a child in the front seat, taking a ride with the passenger. Um, I do, without knowing the full circumstances, I don't know. But I would not look, it would not look right to me as a passenger if there was a child sleeping in the front seat of the car that I'm paying for. That's, without being too harsh, that's what I think it is. So, I mean, I understand maybe she couldn't, or he or she couldn't find babysitting or daycare or whatever. But that's why you can turn the app off and go offline. And
Yep.
it's a tough situation. I mean, you're trying to make money, but at the same time, look, Harry, I'm sure was understanding, right? How many people are going to be understanding enough not to report this to Uber or Lyft, right? And they will deactivate you. I mean, there is no ifs and buts about it. It's clear in the terms of service. If you order anything but a shared ride, these are terms of service. They're not my rules. It clearly says nobody else can be in the car. Like, you cannot have your wife in the car, take a ride, or take your daughter to school, on your way to school, pick somebody up and do it. You just can't do it. That's the terms of service. And you're breaking the terms of service, but without knowing anything, I wouldn't be happy if I was the passenger, and would I do it as a driver? No, I would not.
Yep. Yeah. And like I say, if you have to, I understand people are out there hurting. Maybe they're trying to make money to pay the electric bill to keep the heat and the electricity on. Who knows? I mean, I could speculate all day.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, if you have to drive with another person in the car, turn on an app that would allow it, or where it's not going to be such a problem, where you could do food delivery, or you could do last mile delivery, something like that, where you can have another person. Instacart. It doesn't really matter at that point. There's a lot of different apps that you could potentially do still to make money in the event that happens. So if you have a plan in place, that's just going to be better, because yeah, you're putting your livelihood on the line if somebody does report you.
So this is the same gentleman that says, I don't want any of this. I want to make more money. And then he goes, I don't want to decline 90, like, take a look at all these don'ts. I don't want to decline 97% of the chips to make $40 an hour or $50 an hour. So yeah, you're still complaining. I'm not sure. I mean, either you're trolling or I don't know what you're doing. So you're
Probably
able
both.
to make, so you want to make money 40 to 50 an hour, and you know how to do it, but now your gripe is with declining 97% of the chips. Okay, I think you're trolling. If you're making that kind of money, you don't need us. But anyway, so let's go.
Chase, there were a couple of people who asked about dash camera earlier. Like I said, we recommend the display ride one for cloud-based, but if you didn't want a cloud-based, there's quite a few. You could go on to the rideshareguide.com and look up the dash camera guide. There's quite a few different dash cams there. But if you want to see what Joe's talking about on Friday, he talks about 3 cameras. He talks about the Blue Sky C. He talks about the Ventura N4 and the display ride dash camera. So if you want to see that video, or like I said, you could just go to Rideshare Guy and type in the dash cam tutorial or dash cam overview, and it'll give a bunch of different dash cameras.
Yes, sir. All right.
All right, so
a couple little things, and then you have your trigger. You got this guy fired.
I didn't, but I probably knocked the first domino down. All right, but first, before we get to that, I sent you these screenshots earlier, and I'm not sure if you paid attention to it because you didn't really say anything beyond that. But I'm thinking this is crazy. So this is a driver in Charlotte, and
AWD, baby. AWD. AWD.
so they were going from Charlotte to Augusta, South Carolina, which is quite a hell of a drive there. So basically, if you look at these two screenshots, the first one came in at 11:27, and it's a 2-hour 19-minute ride, or 159 miles, and
Yeah.
it's going to pay you $131.21. Now, fast forward a few minutes to 11:34. So remember, it was 11:27. Now it's 11:34. The same ping request comes in, but this time it includes an $8.50 bonus, but they're offering you $125.66. So they're actually taking money away,
Yeah.
even though it's sitting there longer.
They're taking money
Well,
both
I-
ways, right? They're taking actually the base fare on the first one there is no surge, so the base fare 131. On the second one that comes in, they throw in 8.5 bonus, but then if you take 8.5 out of 125.5, let's say that's 117. So the base fare actually is $14 less for the exact same
Augusta, Georgia,
duration.
yeah.
This is a wonderful algorithm. This is
Oh
a
yeah,
joke.
that's
this goes
insane.
into that's
now
in
you
the
know, now you know why the
category.
algorithms are broke.
That's the T trash category right there.
Oh yeah, absolutely, for both of them. I mean, maybe if you were doing like, actually, I don't even know what the price would be for that.
Well, assume I don't know. Where is this from? North Carolina, you said? South
It
Carolina?
originated in Charlotte,
Oh, so it's
which is
gone
North
from North to
Carolina.
South Carolina. I don't know. I don't
No,
know.
you're traveling through South Carolina, because I'm sorry, I said Augusta, South Carolina. It's actually
Okay.
Augusta, Georgia. It's just across the border.
I got you. So, look, the most likely, yeah, I mean, this is going to be a dead mile return. So a lot of people will look at this and, poo-poo their nose or whatever. Okay, so this is a mileage, dollars to miles. This is not making any sense. Let's say dead mile return, 320 miles for 131, even if you took the one on the left. That's crazy. Was that 30 cents a mile or some shit? That's
Yeah.
bullshit. And then even if okay, let's add the two return. It's going to take you 202 hours and 20 minutes to get back. 4 hours and 40 minutes for 131. It's about, I don't know, about $26 an hour. For somebody, it may be okay. I don't know. But if you just took 400, 320 miles, let's assume your car is getting 30 miles a gallon. That's literally 10, 11 miles of gas. Let's say $3 a gallon, 30, take the 30 out. I mean, where are we, right? People make it, use this as a good example. This is a business decision you're making here. And you got to figure all these things out in the 15 seconds that you have and that Lyft is giving you. And that's why long trips are not worth doing anymore. And that's why people are like, oh, nobody's picking long trips up. Yeah, why would I pick this up?
Yeah.
This doesn't make any financial sense whatsoever. So,
Yeah, and so somebody put in the comments too something about an ant would take it. Well, look how much time has passed. I went from 11:27 to
stop insulting
11:34.
people.
How
It's
many
not
people?
about the,
Yeah, but how many people passed on that? So,
absolutely.
that's just showing you the pricing from these algorithms are not uh
I
good.
know it's broken. That's why you titled
Yep.
it broken. It's broken. This shit's broken. Okay. Michael Seattle XL. How will this trip pay in Seattle, Michael? I know exactly what this trip will pay. This trip will pay 160 times $1.50. That's about 225 plus another 100 and a quarter. This trip in Seattle will pay about 3/4, 3.25, 350 range. Okay. Because they have miles and minutes. And I would take it in Seattle in a heartbeat. But this is what we're trying to teach you, right? Stop nonsense. I mean, look, we can tell the companies what we want. It's not in our circle of control. But if our circle of control depends on you guys, you going into your own communities and explaining the shit that you guys are seeing, right? When you see this, it's an auto decline. There's no thought process unless you're so cash strapped that you need that 125 to make up your rent or 130. Then okay, you take it and you drive back that mileage. You have your rent to pay, and then but what else you have? You have also 320 miles on your car. And then I hear people like this app, fix the app or whatever, comes and complains. And he goes, well, I'm not making any money. I don't want to make any money. And then he goes, I make 40 to 50 bucks an hour by declining 97% of the trips. Well, what is your gripe? I don't know. What do you want to make? $80 an hour? Is that what you think you're worth? I'm not sure. But anyway, let's go.
All right. The next one is CODK sells 100,000 shares.
Guess what
Again.
day though? I'm going to put this up because the date kind of caught my eye. November 13th was the meeting at the LA office, right? They announced all those changes. November 14th, bro, boom, another 100,000 shares. This is his fourth 100,000 share block he's selling. This time he sold it at 53 and change, I think. Yeah, it's another 5.5 million in the pocket. Again, this does not make an indication of that the company is doing well or not. All these top executives have predetermined stock sales, and I'm pretty sure it was one of those because this is his fourth block that he's selling 100,000 shares. And then the next one is yeah, this is all Chris's. I'm actually going to leave the room for this. I'll give you 5 minutes. I'll leave you alone I'll leave you alone with this guy for 5 minutes.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. If you didn't hear about what happened to Sam Altman in ChatGPT, how he was ousted, and like there's a lot of crazy shit that's going on just in their company. And Kyle Vogt, Cruise CEO, which I've had a few choice words to say. Basically, he or they said he quit. He was definitely ousted with everything that was going on. Basically, when you have the attitude where you're going to grow, and you've done nothing but shrink, investors and the company that you're working with and for you're going to be answering to a lot of people. And, it just kind of shows you that these cars are not there. They're not ready. And, the pulling of what happened in San Francisco and what happened with, the rest of the country where they had to pull all of their cars. Yeah, you knew something like this was going to come. So when I saw this, I was laughing my ass off. And I think I sent you some. I forget what I texted you, but I texted you something. I'm like, haha, he's out. Go figure.
And the funny thing
So
is, remember we had Alex Kantowitz 2 weeks ago, or last week, whenever it was, right? And I said,
yep.
what was your impression of this guy when you interviewed him? And the guy goes, the ambition, 10x, 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 10x.
Well, 10x zero is.
Yeah,
but you see, here's the thing. He 10x, but you forgot part of the equation. There was one last part of that equation. It was 10x zero. So no matter what, it's always going to be zero. Exactly where it was. He grew, but he shrank back to zero. So I'm not saying. Hey, I mean, right shift dude. I would love to say I got him fired, but I haven't heard anything from Cruise yet on an offer. So I can't say that I was the one. But when you're saying stupid stuff like ban all drivers in cities, then you're gonna have a problem. Now here's a fun fact that's going on in Buffalo right now. Waymo has decided to come and map out all of Buffalo for the next few weeks. So Waymo cars are in Buffalo at the time that we speak, driving around, mapping out everything. But here's yeah, I know. The only thing is they're drivered vehicles. So there's a vehicle who has a driver in it because driverless vehicles in New York State are not allowed. They're illegal, and you won't see them probably anytime soon. So we do have that going for us, at least in New York State. Not a lot of other things when it comes down to it. But I just thought that was kind of funny that Waymo is here for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah. No, I think, hey, the guy's fine. Well, he quit. Okay, so there you go. Whatever.
They ousted him. They if they didn't oust him, they put a lot of pressure on him to leave and leave gracefully so he could go somewhere.
Shit happens. Hey, it's a setback for GM though. I mean, they're spending billions and billions in this project. You know what I mean? It's like, oof, it's like, and
for it to not go anywhere.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this definitely is a setback in general to the industry. I mean, I think, right? They're going to be under more scrutiny every time they do something wrong, right? These cars, not the people. They're getting
100%. 100%, yeah.
And
so it's definitely going to put them back much more.
Okay. Fix the app. Please email me because I cannot converse with you here because you're not making any sense. I'm not trolling. I just don't care about all the things you got Uber to do because, if you do get deactivated, do not email me because I'm not going to help. Because then you'll have a review process with your dash cam. You'll probably get reactivated. Second thing is because help them with the shitty offers wouldn't have to decline. I was like, huh? Okay, you're just contradicting yourself. You do realize that, but that's okay. So you decline 97% of the offers. You're a super cherry picker. You make 40 to 50 an hour, and you're still complaining. Okay, gotcha.
Well,
noted. I will call Barack or tomorrow and make sure you get paid a little bit more. Okay.
All right. Well, let's go from Cruise and the funniness there to some of the.
These are my weekly. I tweeted this out
names. Yeah, look at that.
Cosmo
trying to get back home. Please help.
Mr. Fluffy Bunny Balls. Every week, I'm gonna put up one of each of the company until they get rid of this shit. Okay. There you go. Mr. Fluffy Funny. Actually, we put out a short yesterday with Killer, F-U-C-K. You saw that? F-U-C-K. That was the real screen name. Then it was some Bite Me Hard. So this week's funnies are
I think that Bite Me Hard was the same person that Jay had who wanted him to bite her tongue.
Cosmo and Mr. Fluffy Bunny Balls. You think that's real? Mr. Fluffy Bunny Balls?
Cosmo could be. It's a possibility.
Yeah, with that avatar.
I would give about a 4% probability on that one. Mr. Fluffy Bunny Balls is just being an asshole. And there's a 0.00% chance.
Mr. Funny Bunny Balls. And you know what? He or she made sure, well, I'm sure it's a he, it's a mister. You know, he put the F and the B and the other last B on the balls capitalized so we could read it properly.
Yep.
What the
You were
hell?
running out of characters there.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Cosmo Kramer.
How about a vowel? Can I buy a vowel?
Yeah. All right. Well, for all you drivers out there who are driving 12 plus hours a day or so, and you don't want to necessarily go to McDonald's and get shitty food all the time, have I got the car for you? Here's the dashboard that you need. So
Oh,
it's got your nice microwave in there. It's got a hot plate. You could do everything. I'm sure the center console that pops up is probably a little mini fridge, so you can put all your food in there, keep it nice and cold, and then that way you can microwave your taco or cook your rice or whatever you want to do and
this
eat
is
that. I
hilarious.
saw this. I was laughing.
This is funny, but you know what? This is a stick shift, though, bro. Because when you put it first gear and third gear, your hand may touch the hot stove there. So
No, that doesn't have that much throw there.
no,
You're fine going. Yeah, you're fine going in when you got to go into top gears.
Somebody will do this now. Watch.
Oh yeah. No, the only thing though I'd have to say is make sure your pot is magnetic to that little warmer there, because you don't want that pot flying all over the place if you're driving around.
Yeah, you have to do that like in a sailboat kind of a thing. It like moves, without the pot moving too much. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what's this that you put up here?
Here's a beautiful little reservation request for 220 miles, 215 minutes for a grand total of $129.78 going from Miami to Sarasota, Florida.
Definite trash. But okay. So what's 215 minutes? That's 3.5 hours. 3.5 hours. You know what? That is exactly $33 per active hour.
Yeah, but that's one way. You got to you're gonna deadhead it.
I'm just saying. I know it's one way. I know we do it. I'm just saying that's what these companies look at. How silly this argument is. That all drivers are making $33 an hour. Now we don't give a flying rat's ass how they're going to come back. That's on them. But while they're on my platform, they're making 33 an active hour. There is the argument.
And the other thing is, it's 250 or it's 220 miles that you have to put on your drive or on your car, plus the 220 back, and so you're going to put 440 miles on your car total. And well, the same person could make $129.78 driving 70, 80 miles, maybe, if they're doing it right.
Yeah. I mean, if this is taking you home or something, maybe, I don't know. Or you're going to go visit your uncle.
If it's a round trip, perfect.
Yeah, exactly. So I saw this, I thought this was like precious because of all what's happening with the, OpenAI and Microsoft and, all this thing getting executives getting fired and hired and fired and all this shit. I thought this was awesome. Before we work on artificial intelligence, why don't we do something about natural stupidity? I think this should be our slogan for the next until the next election. You know what I'm saying? This is it right here. Yeah, baby. Hey. And so as a funny, I put this, but it's probably not funny to most of you. So I have a LinkedIn account. There's probably some of you or most of you do. And then LinkedIn notifies you who's searching for you on LinkedIn. Okay? Not whatever. So the top 2 searching people that came this week was five. I'm like, why? And 5 work at Lyft and 4 work at Uber. So I have like a target behind me in my chest about this big. So if I get assassinated any day now, you guys know it's one of these 9 people. Okay.
Well, come on. We just called them out. We just called them out on another shaving thing when it came to reservation rides.
There you go.
So they're like, God damn it, Sergio, you're costing us money. We just, if we can shave $1.50 off 45% or 50% of our reservation rides, we're making an extra $1 million. So God damn it, man. Stop pulling our money.
Yeah, I know. So I'm joking about the getting assassinated. Okay. I'll just stop it if you guys have any thoughts about that. But
thoughts on Curry. It's a good app.
I love curry, man.
if you can get in. It took me,
I like
let's see,
curry.
I signed up on March of last year, and I wasn't able to take my first ride on the Curry platform until like 2 months ago.
I love curry.
So it was like a year and a half that I was on the waiting list. And the only reason why I got off the waiting list was because of somebody else who was able to get in touch with the people at Curry. But beyond that, it was pretty good. Good experience of taking that. I mean,
Yeah.
the best one I had was like I forget what it was, like
No more
$60 for like
pictures. No more
7
pictures
miles or
with
something.
Why? Why no more pictures? I take pictures all day long. I took 50 pictures yesterday to LAX. Well, Dara is just another human being. I don't know what the problem is with that. I mean, but anyway, we can discuss that later on. So, yeah, that's it. Are we done?
All right.
I think we're done.
Yeah. Anything coming up for you, Sergio?
No. We just keep doing what we're doing. Please email. I'm very serious. Please email me your screenshots of earnings. I'm trying to gather as much data as possible. Mr. App Rides or Fix the App or whoever you are, sorry, man. If you're like that good of a cherry picker that you can make 40 to 50 bucks an hour, I think you can come on to the show and teach our audience how to really do that, because I think, we're probably top 1% driver in your city. I'm not sure what you have to complain about. I mean, I don't know, but there's always something to complain about. Other than that, no, that's it. I'm gonna relax. Have a happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Enjoy the turkey. If you're driving, be safe. Please be safe. A lot of good airport trips, I'm pretty sure, although traffic is going to be horrible. I know LAX is going to be horrible. But yeah, that's it. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yep. And tomorrow is going to be a great day for getting out there, especially bar night. So if you drive the night shift, going to be a big night when it comes down to driving. So go out there, make some money, be safe. If you want to, make sure you pay attention to your airport, the flights that are coming in. There's going to be a lot of people who are going to need rides, probably going to and from the airport, starting actually already at this point.
Already, yeah.
So you could probably get some people later tonight, and there may be a few people who are going out drinking, especially if it may be teachers because they have off tomorrow, or at least some areas they do. And then, yeah, tomorrow night's going to be a huge night. Is going to be Thursday can be pretty hit or miss. Just depends on what's going on. You just got to time the market properly when it comes down to it. Same thing. You're going to get a lot of people going to the bars too, and then just not as much as Wednesday. And then again, the next really big one is going to be the night before Christmas Eve, so the 23rd. That's always a big one for a lot of people. So there's definitely a couple of days to go out there and make some money, especially if you're in an area that has been oversaturated. You just want to get out there and try to make a little extra money so you can have a good Christmas or whatever holiday you may celebrate. And Tur Duncan, yes. And then, yeah, make sure you hit that like button. Thank you for watching, hanging out, and any other questions, let us know. And we will see you guys next week right here on the Rideshare Guy.
Yes.